Okay, we're starting.
Why is it
Oh, you
not-
Durvar.
Yeah, I was going to say your camera's a little off. I think Donovia wanted me to do
Yeah.
it. Isn't that right, Donovia?
Yeah.
Just before I check.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm-
Everybody, welcome to a very special episode of the Cepheus Protocol podcast. Today, also, I'm back after a few weeks because it was way too early for me to get up. Everyone say welcome back or else I'll cry.
Welcome back. We missed you so
Right.
much, man.
I know, I'm just so important. But anyway, today, very, very special. We're going to be showing off an early build of co-op multiplayer, in which I played an earlier build a few days ago, and it made me cry.
What the fuck? Did it really?
It's hard to make Australians
Yeah,
cry,
it is
by
hard.
the way.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, you were gushing when we played about it a couple days ago.
Oh my god, yeah. Do you want me to tell that story?
We're
before
stalling
we
for
get into it?
Durvar to join times off the internet, so we need
Oh,
like a
yeah,
minute
okay.
anyway.
That's cool. That's
I'll
fine.
go ahead and switch it over. Oh,
That's
shoot.
fine.
Yeah,
All
go,
right.
go.
So,
Dance.
yeah. So, what? It was like the middle of the night, I think. Oh no, it was the afternoon. It was middle of the night for you,
Matter.
and you were like, Robert was like, "Hey, can you just do you want to test something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I got nothing better to do." Sends me this bootleg zip folder with just a .exe, and I'm like, "All right, let's do this. Let's test this out. Let's test some multiplayer." Jump in. I'm walking around Alcatraz a bit, just like this. Put in a little console command to join Robert. Test out some stuff, and then he's like, "Right, let's play. Let's do some actual gameplay." And we jumped onto a test, a Horde map, and he jumped into operator mode, and I was floating around ordering troops and stuff, and just there was a moment where I zoomed in and I was watching him run around at the gate and pull his pistol out and start just shooting at nothing, and I was like, this is amazing. This is what I've been waiting for. This is going to be so much fun when it's instead of a test map with bricks, it's an urban environment, or fighting and using tactics, and I'm just so excited for this. It's so beautiful.
Okay, so Efren, you want to walk us through your changes real quickly before we jump over to the RTS map?
All right. Well, this week started the UV mapping process for the buildings. Of course, none of the textures have been applied yet because I still got a few buildings to go through. Collisions have been done. That was last week, and I spent some time dressing up the island a little
Which
more.
one are you?
Its militarization. And
Yeah, I got no idea.
Shoot your gun.
Doing the
Oh,
squats.
yeah, that one. Okay, yeah,
The
take us,
squat
show
man,
us
yeah.
something. Take us for a tour.
All right, so added some more, fortifications around the island, especially here at the cell house, where we've got Cirque starting to bring in some more supplies to take into the cell house, setting up a little storage area, some more fortifications around this side, setting up a perimeter around the cell house to fortify it further. Started doing some more work in other parts of the island, if you'll follow me down this path. Of course, I'm not sure how much we want to actually dress this up or fortify it, but I did get started, on the back side of the island as well, because it needed a little love. There is some space here to do some more work in this little area right here, but I started putting up some facilities for soldiers in this area, more supplies, more fortifications to supplement what they've got going around the island. More encampments, more
It's
quarters,
nice. I dig it.
some porta potties, water supply, all kinds of stuff. Of course, we have the little what are these drone carts going around the island, dropping stuff off at the different encampments. If you'll follow me back down this hill.
I love the test to see if the little shells are explosive.
Oh, yeah,
They
no,
were.
thanks. I'm glad that I didn't add that into the build. I killed you, Winter, on the Horde test map. Remember we went into the Horde test map and I shot one of the barrels and you died?
Right.
And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that to work. Let me write that down.
Yeah, we tested friendly fire on Alcatraz, and you were like,
Oh no.
"Cool, that's all. You know, we're not
Yeah.
gonna kill each other. That works
Yeah.
perfectly." And then we joined into the Horde mode, and you shot a barrel, and I just went nuclear.
And then here comes me.
Yeah.
to lead.
Fucking dick.
Yeah.
Can we go in here? Oh yeah. You probably put a box collision in there.
Actually, I don't think it's
Flashlight.
Oh
big
yeah.
enough, because you can go in here. I think that doorway needs to be made a
Yeah.
little bigger, or I need to fix the geometry in here too, because the normals are flipped. I just
Mhm.
noticed that. Should have checked that before exporting from.
Be careful about jumping too high because the parachute code is a little bit buggy. So you might get bugged out. We have to fix that going into Monday. So if you jump this thing, you might not be able to move. Oh. You good?
We're good.
Skyrim it. Skyrim it.
Yeah.
There
Oh
we go.
wait, I can't. Oh yeah, there we go. Skyrim works.
You know, putting up more encampments around this area as well. You know, fortifying it, dressing it up, making it look like they've really been setting up shop here. If you'll follow me here, follow me to the back of the island to where the industries buildings are. In real world, this part is kind of crumbling, the hillside. So I wasn't too sure if I was going to set stuff up here, but it is a lot of space that I think I should fill in. So I'm thinking, you know, like placing up some more guard towers here overlooking the ocean.
It's
or
looking
the bay.
good.
Looking at San Francisco. Over here, we've got like a little sort of like a recon station. We've got the field tent with a I converted this like foundation they had here into like a landing pad for the drones. You know, sort of like a little place where they can land them, refuel them, send them back out. And we've got the little trailer over here for, you know, their little operations
Where are
area.
you? Oh, you're over there. Okay.
Oh,
Hey, you're
it's
good.
over here.
We got to add in
More
those damn name
facilities.
tags. I didn't realize so right now.
Yeah.
We need the
just gonna
name
say
tags
that.
that are always there. We need the holograms like in Left 4 Dead so you can see people through walls at all times. And then we're probably going to have to push like a Battlefield Call of Duty squad system. So that or Arma, where you can like have like an internal system of like, I want to see these people, but I don't want to see these other people. So I'm going to have to like look at squad for that.
checkpoint.
Armor for that. Sorry. Some ideas. Keep going. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Just,
Yeah, let's go this way. Actually, down to the storage area here at the quartermaster. This is, of course, where they're bringing a good majority of the supplies. We got some generators, and then this whole storage area down here at the bottom of the building. Well, we have more of these little carts coming in to drop stuff off.
It's nice. I think it.
And this little dead end here where they're storing a little bit of garbage.
I can't wait to get like AI in here and
I
get
still
them like going around doing stuff, driving stuff around, and like the polish passes, get some ambient like VO done. It's gonna bring it to life.
I wanted to put some more stuff
Why are you
inside,
guys
but
so
I did want
destructive?
to
You're trying to kill us all.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see
thought
the
there was
like
I'm so
Zombies.
glad those are just
Yeah.
static meshes
Chill out,
and not
yeah.
actual dynamic entities that would explode.
Oh, this one has collisions.
This is why Circus losing
This
against
is
the
exactly why
infected.
Circus looting at the infected. There's a derv out here trying to take everyone out. Right?
Kill each other.
One building I did forget to fill in was the guardhouse. I'm gonna have to put some stuff in there as well. So it looks like they've been using that as a checkpoint and what have you.
Oh, that doesn't have proper collision.
Oh,
Yeah,
these
it's probably the
steps.
steps aren't uniform to the max step height in the Unreal, so you probably have to just
the
yeah.
ramp is
It's too
just
yeah.
weird.
So the system's gonna be like, nope, you can't go up that, bro. It's a hill. Is there anything else you wanted to show before we jump into the RTS element?
Up here, just by the
Excellent.
morgue, just some, you know, set up a little
Yeah, can
area.
we
where
jump
they're-
in?
Don't jump
Just
off. If you jump
Mr.
off, you're gonna have to sit there and like bug out your controls because there's something going on with the server desync where if you parachute sometimes, it locks your movement to play the recovery animation, and there's something that's not being sent sometimes to where it's like, you're not gonna move anymore, and you're just kind of screwed. So I have to fix that going into next week.
What about jumping? in
You
place?
can't jump in
Getting
place
some
because we went the division route where
material
there's no
here.
jump in place or armor. We might change
Oh,
that
okay.
based off of feedback because like Michael and I wanted to do the route where you couldn't jump and it was just division level of gameplay, but with how dynamic and how expansive our world is, I don't think that idea is gonna pan out. We might have to regroup
Yeah.
on. Damn, that Chinook is baby size.
See, told you.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
way
So it
small.
is.
what happened with that, but that's how I pulled it out of the.
Likely it was rescaled.
The
Yeah, it
browser.
was probably scaled improperly for the RTS. So I'll have to look into that because that's not to a human size. That's fun. Okay.
But you know,
I am-
this is supposed to serve as like a drop off for like the OR
Yeah.
here. This is gonna be like the
Oh, like
Yeah.
a match unit. That's cool.
yeah, like
Very
a match
cool.
unit. Need to put some more stuff in here, like tables and whatnot. I'm trying to find some good tables that look like something the military.
Hey, someone
would
flip your
use,
flashlight
but Don't
just
seem
to
have
show
anything.
it's replicated. I just wanted to show that to them. They didn't see that earlier. But it's not dark right now. It'll get nighttime when it gets we're not gonna stay here long enough for the map to go dark time. But if it does go pitch dark, we need our flashlights to see because there's no lighting on Alcatraz. This is a nice little area you
Of
decorated
course,
here.
here we have. I decided to put that near Alcatraz's morgue, so that way it kind of fits in with the MASH unit they have back there. And of course, this is just like construction material that's been stored here. And yeah, still quite a bit to fill in, but I kind of wanted to just fill in a little more before moving on to the UV mapping stuff because I want to start getting textures on this and bringing in some more foliage, some more greenery to make it look better. Like I still have to set up some fences here because this place is gated off, like I think to like about right
Yeah.
there.
Keep in mind, you don't have to. You can make some
Yeah.
alterations to the fencing and make it more efficient for like how Cirque would actually like try and optimize it and make it fit their needs. So like to a certain point, you can deviate there. Okay, so if there's not anything else, I think we should jump into the. Should we show them the Horde map that they're gonna get eventually? You guys think? Before we jump into RTS, you think? Fuck it,
Yeah,
we'll show it real
sure.
fast and then we'll pop out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Like,
we're
just
gonna
take-
show you a couple other
just take a
things
few
so you
minutes,
guys are
yeah.
aware of what you guys are getting. So we're gonna go to the where are you? Oh, was I stupid? Let me see if I did that.
No.
Oh, not this one. You guys can rejoin, but this was one of the maps that we were working on. That was a single player map. And the idea was it was a time trial map for you can take your operators and power level them in here. Oh, I died. Oh, I'm
Already
already
dead.
dead. Yeah, there's no respawns on this map. But the idea was it was like a little debug map that we were working on. Oh, that crashed. Okay, yeah. We're not supposed to go into that map with multiplayer. But the idea is that that was like a little side map that you can play. That's not necessarily multiplayer. We just brute force that. So anyhow, let me probably not show that one. The Horde map that we're supposed to show is not packaged with this build. So we're just going to go into the other one that we're going to show. So people are aware of like what we're going to be doing long term with the operators. So join real fast so I can just show them. And then we're going to pop into the RTS element. Because we have a lot that we're planning for Cepheus in terms of long term, but just kind of, oh. Are you guys able to move?
Yeah, moving.
Yeah, there's like a little
Yeah,
bit of delay.
it's the stun I was talking about. This is the old map that Ephraim was working on as a prototype, and the idea was is it was supposed to be like a Call of Duty Zombies thing where you were trying to a team coming in to secure a Cirque base that's gone dark. So
Oh man, I've totally.
so
forgot
the
about
idea
this
is that
one.
you had like spawn points and dev stuff that we were working on, and you had to like go into the Cirque base and clear it to the entrance, and then descend into the facility with your friends to basically essentially like fight the infected and whatnot, and resecure the facility and buy in or unlock stuff. It was an old early prototype we have to finish, but this is one of the things that we're going to be working to kind of like iron out alongside the pandemic and everything else to kind of give you guys not just the pandemic, but also operator-centric content that you can play with your friends and you can play by yourself to level up and grind out your operators because the weapons have XP and like attachments and the characters have XP. And you level up your weapon and you level up your character. I think I can do it. Let me see if I think I can. Is that if I set my attachment, let's see if it's going to work. It might. No, I don't think it's going to work because set current attachment. Oh, wait. Set current magazine attachment. Yeah, so you have a drum mag now and 100 rounds. This works in RTS, this works in TPS. So the idea is that as you level up your gun, you guys can't get this because you're not cool. But the idea is that you can customize your weapons in RTS or in the TPS, and then use those to basically be like your hero units that you customize. And yes, not everyone's going to be a waifu. There are male characters, there are female characters. It's just right now the system does not support having every character be a different loadout, because that's one of the last things that we have to do before we give it to you guys is fix the customization UI that was like a prototype from a while ago, and then make sure that your optimization, your customizations are being sent correctly when you join. But this is just one of the early test maps that we had. I just wanted to show that real quickly. So now, Duravar, actually do me a favor. Duravar, come here. Where are you?
I have no idea.
I'm in the center. Shooting my gun like a
Over by
madman.
the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right in front of me? Okay, so do me a favor. Type in set current magazine attachment, and then type in spacebar, then 2. It should auto. Yeah, okay, so you can do it. Did your magazine change to 100? Okay, so now you can customize your operator. Now, the people that play with us tonight can do this as well. So there's so you won't have the UI, but you can give yourself. You can just sit there and kind of guess. We have foregrips, we have muzzles, we have scopes, we have magazines, and they all affect the how the gun handles per se. So it's going to be like set current, and then you're going to get all the console commands. And then you're going to be like underbarrel, attachment, scope, muzzle, magazine, and you guys can do it too. But obviously you guys can't see the number because it's a back-end system that's not supposed to be exposed, but you can type in those console commands. Yes, we know set weapon sounds aren't replicating properly. That's something that we have to fix going into the week because I can't hear him shooting his gun. All right, so now we've teased some of the shit we're working on. Some. Now we're going to jump into the RTS element, which is the meat and potatoes of everything. So we're going to go and we're going to jump into the new co-op test map. And we're going to make it a listen server. Now, you guys are going to notice that they have to rejoin because there's no level transition like in Fortnite or whatever right now. That's something else we're going to be working on going into next week is making it to where they don't get booted every time I change maps and they just automatically come with me. And then the other thing you notice is sometimes it goes back to the Alcatraz map. Okay, go ahead and join my game, boys. So there's a bug where the sound restarts. Just bear with that. I apologize. That's something that we have to work out. So, Chris, you're doing defenses. Duravar, you're doing operator. I'm doing building a base. I'm doing security. So why don't we go ahead and get that going? And let me see.
Where's
Are
the
we
operator?
doing more money or what?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I got to give us more money.
Wait, who's the operator character?
You got to possess him.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them. Where are they?
Center of the map.
Oh, you know what? I think Dimitri might have broken it. He put something in here that has collision. Yeah, he didn't test it. Okay, we're going to have to revert the build to go back 24 hours. Hold on. There was a last minute change that got in, and I have to revert it. Give me one moment. So that would be April 26th at 5:10 a.m. Okay.
The joys of
So
live
go ahead and
development,
close and
everyone.
reopen your Steam so you guys get the update. We're going to have to go back to the build that was semi-broken from last night because I don't have time to cook another build live. So close and reopen your Steam, get the update, launch it, and then open that. And I'm going to have to put a message in his channel because he didn't test that.
How do I get out of the game?
Okay, so close and reopen Steam.
Yeah, close and reopen Steam and go ahead and it'll automatically pull the update. I just reverted it on the Steam backend to the build that the Patreons played last night, and we're going to go with that one. Unfortunately, it doesn't have some of the newer stuff that we put in over the course of 24 hours, but it is what it is. I don't have time because it'll take another 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to cook another build. So what I will do is I'll start another build for the people that are going to play publicly. So while we're doing the Q&A, I'll fix it, cook another build, and then the build that we give out to everyone after the podcast will be the fixed one. Because I already know what to do. It would just take too much time to do it right now. But the Q&A will stall for time for me. Okay, so go ahead and join now. And let me verify. Yeah, we're good. Yeah,
Upgrading
it was
still.
my level designers put water into the map, and it had bogus collision. It wasn't properly tested. So go ahead and join. Oh, sorry, I forgot everyone doesn't have as fast internet as me. Let me pause the game and let me give everyone more money. When you guys do join, make it bigger, and I'll just keep the game paused for the time being.
So when do you want me to start my perspective?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Just double checking.
Is that base map still in the engine? That one that we were in a while ago with the blue sky? Blue lighting?
What? No.
I just saw some things in there that needed to be edited.
What's your guys' ETA?
10 minutes.
50%
Okay.
right now.
I'm just gonna start playing then.
You were talking when we were playing about how you want the RTS and operator mode to both be very fully fledged things. One question I did have was like something you've brought up a little bit, but haven't really gone into detail of, is about having your friends who aren't particularly interested in RTS be able to just purely play in operator mode. Like, are you intending that to be kind of like join, like, you know, customize your operator in the main menu and then join a session as an operator and not even have to touch
Correct.
FPS? Or are you still like, you know, if you get killed as an operator, you know, will that pop them back out into RTS, or, you know, are you planning a respawn system?
The
of
idea
some
would be is kind of what we talked about loosely last night, where you like right now, like if I build let me build a power generator. I'll probably have to restart when they get in. But the idea is that when they join, they can effectively play only as the operator, and they choose a buy-in point of like a barracks, and they jump in like in Battlefield or Call of Duty. So as it stands right now, I have debug operators that are above the realm that anyone that plays tonight with us can just grab, first come, first serve, and then you can possess them and jump into the arena. It's not in right now to be able to call them in raw. That's something that we're going to be working on going into the week, with essentially just kind of ironing that out. Let me see if I can put some turrets up to secure the right side. Let me know when you guys are going to join so I can restart the session. So yeah, it's one of those things that definitely we are working on. Like here, I'll show you guys. Like if I possess this operator, then I can jump in and play. And then, you know, if someone's playing RTS, they can basically be like building stuff. Like when we were playing last night, the night ago, Winter, and basically you were able to, like, I was playing as the operator during security, and then you were like essentially building and doing everything else kind of deal. So it was actually really cool. And there's definitely some bugs that need to be ironed out, as you guys saw when I was having some difficulty placing stuff in. But it's slowly but surely kind of coming together. So like right here, those turrets that I built are doing their job. This older map is lacking some of the fixes that basically we put in, because there's a hole there that allows them to sneak in. So the build that we show, if people are going to play it themselves, are going to basically not have that hole there. Oh, someone just joined. They didn't tell me.
Oh,
Yeah, I see your indicator on the RTS map. Do me a favor. When you joined, how many structures do I have right now?
I'm in
right
two.
now there's like 4 turrets, a couple of generators, the barracks.
So 2 barracks? Or how many? What do you
That's
see?
what I see.
Just
One
one
barracks.
barrack.
How many generators?
2,
Two.
a large one.
Medium and
Excellent.
small.
Fixed. So now we're gonna reset.
My camera's tweaking.
Yeah,
though.
that's the bug that we fixed. You don't do the free look. We fixed the free look in the other build, but it's not fixed in this one. I'm gonna go ahead and restart the session, and I'm going to turn the audio down, so then that way you guys don't get the looped audio. And then I'm going to basically restart the session. Go ahead and it crashed. Let me save that. So we're gonna put that in my channel, and we're going to start and resume.
How do you possess the operator?
You have to use the console command, which is possess first operator. Just type in operator, and it will autocomplete. We have to add in the command ability system to make it to where anyone can just possess it a lot easier without acquiring console commands. Okay, rejoin. Let's get this going. So again,
It was a really. Oh, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
What I was going to say. Oh no, yeah, right. I remember now. It was really fun when we were testing because I mean, obviously that was very much a first pass, and we still managed to play for
think we
quite
played
a
it for-
while with only a
I think
few
we played it
crashes
for like
in certain areas.
maybe like 2 hours.
Yeah, I think it was about 2 hours. It's just and the like my internet, just for everyone who isn't aware, is awful at home. It's the slowest thing on earth, and I hate it. And like I physically I can't stream when I'm at home. My internet's that slow. Like I can barely do a Discord 480p stream. It's that bad. But playing this, everything's synced up really, really well with only like a little bit of some latency issues on placing buildings, and it's just having it run that well out of the box was amazing.
No, I dig it. It's definitely an accomplishment, but we still have some stuff left out to do. You guys can see the new system where I can set a rally point on someone, and then the units will basically automatically go to that unit when they're constructed, and it works for operators. So if you have like a person on the ground that's playing, and then essentially he's like out in the nether realm, and you don't want to micromanage and babysit them, you can basically set that. Oh, don't order that one guy around. I'm that guy I'm using right now. I was using it as a demonstration. So you figure essentially now they're going to move to him basically, and then that's one of the units that someone else built. So someone built that guy. Oh, actually no, is someone playing as that operator?
Look at
Oh. This guy.
amazing.
I think someone is playing as that operator,
Oh, you're brutal.
and someone's talking to his cat.
He's so excited.
Oh, we need the
Oh
money.
right. Oh, there you go, million. So I'm gonna go ahead and build on the left side and see if I can get some defenses going. And then send some guys down there. Send some over here. I'm gonna change the rally point to the right side. We need to get some walls up. We really have to fix that audio bug where the music loops over itself.
All right, I'm about
Mhm.
to join.
And then a big thing that's missing also is having the persistent unit icons, because the unit not having the unit icons makes it really hard to tell who's an engineer and who is a assault. That's something else that we're gonna be working on going into this week. Oh,
What was missing?
alongside
Nice.
other accessibility elements. What are you saying?
I can't believe I didn't even notice that those were missing when we played. I was like,
You were more fixated on the
I
concept
kept like
of it
clicking
working.
unit. I was.
Yeah, that was your thing.
Think about the fact that I couldn't tell what
Yeah,
was an
you were more
engineer.
like, oh, it's actually working. Like, you guys actually have something I can play, and we can collaborate together and like, do something. How we do? Oh, you have a power deficiency on the right side. I'm gonna send over an engineer. Let me see if I can find a spare one. Do we have any NGs over here? Who tried to place a turret over a person? So whoever's building on the right side, you need to place a power generator down. You have no power in your zone, which is why your turrets aren't shooting. And then one of the other things that we discovered early off is that the auto repairing is not working for some reason in an actual multiplayer session. So you'll notice that like sometimes my engineers aren't auto helping like they were doing in previous builds. That's something that I'm gonna have to track down and figure out why that's happening in this build. But it works in the editor, but it does not work in an actual like cooked environment. So that's one of those examples of something that like breaks in a test environment. It works in a test environment. It doesn't work when you actually package the game. Ironically, probably some kind of permission issue.
All right, how do you
Click
do
on an
the
operator,
stuff?
type in possess, and the command will auto complete. You gotta you'll see it. It'll pop up.
Hang on, where's the?
There's an operator right here on a patrol route. Now he's here.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh, you're
me.
playing as him?
Oh.
Oh, that's the other thing, is that we need to make it more obvious who's controlling an operator and who's not. Because you look like a robot walking around. I was like, wait, he must be he must be fucking not playing right now. And it's like, oh no, he's actually playing. It's just you can't tell. So it's like those little
Every time, like I was watching you give an order, and I was like, he just wasn't following it. I was like, I think
that
that's
is
a
a person.
Got it.
Yeah, no, because like, okay, there's operators on the
controlling
hill, Duravar.
Yep.
Where are you? Turn on your flashlight. I see you. Oh, I have some ambient base lighting. I'm gonna go ahead. Damn, I gotta find one of our NGs. Where our base is gonna get super fucking dark, because the problem is there's no moonlight. So
Oh,
turn on
boy.
everyone's flashlights.
Oh.
My light is on.
I turned on the RTS
Yeah, my
units.
I'm falling back.
Oh, okay. I just lost connection for a second, but I'm back.
I'm gonna go ahead and get some spotlights up because our visibility is atrocious. And again, this is a dirty little mock-up. I'm not the best base builder. I play more combat-oriented, so hopefully when we play people on the public Discord, they're better at designing bases than I am.
Better at designing bases.
Yeah, because like the
It's
Patrons
gonna be the
we were
class
playing with
versus
last night, and some of the public
green
people
drop
that joined
people.
their channel, they designed the most beautiful bases I've ever seen. Like, they were going to town last night, like designing like full-on bases while we're just playing the game Call of Duty, trying to like get everything going. There's definitely some issues with the brightness of objects that we have to iron out. Oh, we got a hard crash. Let me go ahead and let me relaunch that.
So just so everyone knows, my perspective is now
Okay,
up.
I'm gonna restart it again, and then let's see. Okay, so go ahead and join again, and then I'm gonna grab all the NGs this time, and we're gonna organize them. So let's see, the two NGs on the
Feel
left.
free to drop your like. Sorry, I'm going over here. Feel free to like drop your stream link in the chat, people.
Okay, so these two NGs I'm gonna be using. Once I get the barracks operational, you guys are welcome to build additional engineers. If you grab them, I'm going to cut you. I'm obviously joking. Because we need to have base lighting up initially, because the problem is that it was just too damn dark. And then we need to flood in some assaults once the initial thing goes. So I'll get the assaults in once the sky crane drops in the thingy. And then from there, we'll focus on getting the little point they're trying to destroy and the security guard or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and build some more vast.
Winter, I'll just.
They're
I'll
destroying the
send it to
gate.
you and you-
We'll be
Winter,
fine.
I'll just send it to you and you put it where.
They're kind of like,
Yeah, sure.
what the? Was someone playing as the operator and just got fucking Hauser?
Man.
I just got it out.
Okay,
Yes.
I just gave us $1 million. I'm going to go ahead and build some assaults and then send them on the gate to secure it. You guys all have your own rally points, so every person can set their own rally point, and it does not influence anyone else's. So you guys all have unique ones. So don't worry about, like, you set a rally point, it's going to reset someone else's. We need to get. I'm going to build some ammo depots for when you guys are playing as the operators, and I'm going to build some medical tents as well for healing. That's the triage area is going to be where the shield is. So
There we go. If anyone wants to watch Donavir, it's in the Discord main
yeah,
chat.
you got your power operation on the right side.
sorry,
Who's building on the right side right now? Is that Efren? Okay.
I am.
So we have two.
No, that's
so Duravar is the one running around as an operator. Are you that guy? Shows them.
I want to show that perspective.
He's streaming on his. Show them. Hit Control R and look somewhere. Did you?
No, I'm putting down little waypoints.
Oh, it's
now.
not replicating. Can you see mine?
I can see yours. Yes.
You hit.
Yeah, we had this issue a little bit when we were
Yeah.
testing as well, where sometimes it would
Yeah,
stop
we have to look
appearing.
into that. Basically, Control R, Control T. So Control T is a shield. Control R is a sword, and then Control E is a attention here. And the idea is that RTS players and the operators can look somewhere and flag it, and it will essentially like allow you to communicate without talking. There's no text chat or text log yet, so it's something that we need to kind of iron out. And then right now, that's an operator playing, but yeah, I can't issue him orders because there's an actual player, human being playing as that person. So that's one of the things where like we have to work on the UI and the UX to give better information to players so they understand. Oh, I can't control that unit. That's Johnny playing as that person. I don't know. Anyway, where are we doing on assaults? And we definitely need to stagger out their rally point thing so they don't all go to the same point, because then you get like 3 assaults that are on top of each other. All right, so let me see. We're gonna just grab this NG and we're gonna go set up a cordon over here from like the area they like to go around. And then while we're doing that, we're gonna bring up the tactical map so you guys can see that, and you can see that it's functioning. You can see that Efren is on the bottom right part of the map, and he's building and doing stuff down there. And then if I hold left control, then I could identify, oh, hey guys, this area over here is where we need to focus our attention because they are coming in. And then I can zoom in and then use the little mouse button and then be like, hey, we need to build a wall here. And we need to make that brush stroke a lot darker, a lot thicker. But the idea is that now someone could be like, oh, you know what? Why don't you take this area? And then, Efren, you're going to focus on this area of responsibility. Cool. And then, like, you know, I'm taking this whole area, so I'm going to draw that maybe. And then that way it's like it's easier to kind of like communicate. Obviously, the brush strokes are way too thin, and there's a lot of like small things we need to kind of go through. And then I can go back and I can erase it. And that also appears on everyone's mini-map. So if I go...
Can somebody protect me while I build?
Where are you? Oh, I see you. I'll send over...
I'm over by...
Okay, can you cover him with the operator while I get the left side secured? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and build on the top left and get some walls in. Get some turrets in.
I mean, this is what it's about, right? For all of us watching. Like, this is beautiful. Being able to play this game with your friends and work together to defend, and I mean, this is Horde, not Pandemic. So this is quick balls to the wall. Like, when you're playing Pandemic, you'll be able to like sit with your friends and come up with a plan, and then like, you know, execute it. Like, you can pick a time. You can wait until night, sneak in, attack during the day with like air support. You know. It's your options are just so limitless, and it's so exciting, and I can't wait to when, you know, once it's further along, to be able to play it.
Oh, absolutely. But you figure like this is what we have right now. What are we gonna have next week? What are we gonna have the week after that? What are we gonna have the week after that? But you figure we've been basically just banging it out every week sequentially, just small little abstract points. And now, I mean, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we couldn't play anything. It was just small little test maps of isolated elements and not anything coming together in terms of like, yeah, you can build, you can attack, you can do move, you can do patrol move, and now it's all starting to actually come together into an actual product. So like, you know, I can set up this patrol. I set this up kind of retarded, but you figure I could do that now. Now he's going to do his patrol and he's going to guard this quadrant, whatever, while my engineer builds, and then they can see it, and then they can click that guy and be like, why did you set up such a stupid patrol? And then they can fix it. Now, I see a bug right now. If for some reason my patrol indicators are not being shown. So I got to figure out why that's happening, because I showed you guys last week that was working. But something changed in a network environment, maybe latency. Something else is going on to where it's not operating correctly. And let me see. Did that just break? Let me see.
So another thing that I'm showing off right now is I am currently on the roof of the building, and I'm looking down at both areas.
Where are you? Turn on your flashlight. Flick it 2 times. I see you. What you doing over there, Duravar?
All right, someone mentioned I was a megaphone. I moved into another room. Hopefully there's a little less echo in here.
and I'm trying to set up like an Overwatch.
Oh, fancy. I need to actually get the right side secured because I'm a terrible base builder. I should be ashamed of myself and never base build again in my life. The base builders in this channel were probably triggered. It seems to be so keep in mind the zooming and the panning and all that was redone in the build that was screwed up. So you're noticing that sometimes my panning is being a little bit irritable and weird. That was fixed. And when we get to the podcast, I'm gonna go and cook another build, possibly delete the water out of the map if it's like acting really funky, and figure out and so we can have a build going that has more fixes baked in. Because this is a 24-hour-old build. So yeah, you can see that's happening every once in a while because, yeah, fun.
So right now, I'm just getting an up-close look at the
Oh, I
turrets.
overwhelmed my power grid on the left side. So this was the other thing where, like, it'll flash red. And then after about maybe, I think it's about like 60 seconds, all the power goes off. So it gives you a small period of time to basically recover. So let me go ahead and put in this generator. I shouldn't have built that there. I'm gonna have to destroy that turret, move the line down, get some walls in, because you can see that one didn't even, like, these lights aren't even on. Okay, so now power is back online, lights are on. My patrol is opening and closing that door. Let me go ahead and make that door not automatic and manual, so it doesn't try and open every time that an assault goes through the threshold and gets him killed. Because like now it's not going to auto open when he runs by. You'll also notice there's some dev objects that are triggering on. Did someone just die as an operator?
No.
Oh,
I'm
that's
still
weird.
alive.
That's a debug object for an operator dies ironically.
Oh, I died at the beginning of the game.
Oh
as an
yeah, I have to
operator.
take those out. It's really obnoxious, those little effects. I'm setting up some more spotlights on the right
another-
flank. Yeah.
Another thing that I'm also showing off right now is how I can actually see you moving the hologram.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing that we spent a lot of time into. Is like, I don't think you can do it in Fallout, because in Fallout we got the idea of like, okay, I didn't want to do the Fallout route where you only know after someone's placed something. So I spent the time to figure out so everyone can see holograms when they're being placed down, so you can better communicate of like, oh, okay, you're building this wall section, I'm gonna build this wall section, we're gonna meet here. You know, everything just works. So then that way, it's very intuitive and it's very straightforward in terms of, like, you know, collaborating. There is a bug. Sometimes, I guess we did too good of a job, is that on the Horde map, sometimes the infected can stop spawning. So that's something that we have to fix. Oh, I guess that's the trash can deletes all of the drawings in one go. That was a good idea. I didn't ask Derek to do that, but he did that. That's a good job. But basically, yeah. So you figure, I don't think the infected are going to spawn anymore because they're probably bugged. That's one of the other things that we have to kind of clean up and get ironed out, is sometimes the infected can get bugged out and stuck somewhere. So we have to kind of go in and add some killing floor level of like fixes to where basically you can make sure that they're persistent and they're always coming. And if some infected do get stuck, they get deleted and it keeps coming. I think we might want to just reset the session again. Because have they come recently? Have you guys had any contact?
No, I've had nothing.
No.
Okay,
this
so
side.
we're gonna reset the session one more time, and then from there we're gonna segue into the Q&A section, and then I'm gonna start cooking the next build and fixes, so then that way we can get this for you guys to play with us, because there's no player limit right now. So anyone that's on Discord that wants to partake with us when we transition out of the podcast can essentially join the public Discord. We're going to be in the general comms channel. We're going to give you a beta password, and then we're going to give you, you launch into it, give you a join command, and then from there you're able. 20 people can play, 10 people can play. Last night we got up to like 8 to 10 in the general comms. There's just people on public Discord just breaking the game, having a good time, just building bases. Someone's going to say something. Sorry. Let me reset the map. Okay, I reset the map. Go ahead and rejoin. We're gonna do one more base.
I can't wait to see the Armor 3 like 50-man operation.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really interesting because you figure like we have to. Some people were begging me last night when we were playing a general combat, don't do the 4-player limit and let them go up to 6 to 8 to 10 for RTS. So like you figure I haven't made a decision yet based off of like I need to just see how everything plays and then balance around that. Because like you figure some people were also suggesting last night to make it to where the limits are based off of the map size. So larger maps allow more players. Like Pandemic could be up to 10 to 12. But then a small Horde map could be like 4 or 2. So that was some things that they were basically throwing at me to consider last night when we were playing it together. So then that way it was like, hey, like roll with the, you know what I mean? Like allow us to scale up with like how big the map is kind of deal. And then you can see the standard infected needed probably a consistent 24 to 48 hours of bug fixing for their AI because they're terrible at destroying that gate. They could have won right now had they just known what to do. So like there's small little things that we have to kind of run around and fix, like the auto repairing for gates, like the infected AI, spend a day or two finessing and clean them up a little bit. Adding in the UX elements so I know when someone's possessing an operator, showing the operator icon as a different icon on the mini map when it's an RTS versus a player possessing them. So that's also obvious. You know, it's small little things that we need to go into and change going into the week to just kind of make sure that it's obvious like what's going on and like what do I need to do to contribute to the team effort. Yes, I know we're out of money. I am sorry. I added $1 million. So yeah, right. No, and that's the other thing is that the balancing for the power and the balancing for the money, it needs to be finessed and changed back to legacy. So Michael's going to have to get in there and basically change all the pricing for all the structures and like do that kind of stuff. There's some polish we need to do with the sky cranes. You'll notice when it comes in, it will like super zerp back really fast. I have to figure out why that's happening. So there's like I think our bug list is in like 30 or 40 items at this point in terms of things that we need to fix before we feel that it's like publicly digestible in terms of like you guys can play it and you're not able to like you know like there's nothing that's like really annoying and you're able to actually like that right there where it teleports back. We have to figure out why that's happening. Oh crap. Yeah, defend first then shoot.
It's the magic helicopter. Riftval asked if you mind if content creators record tonight when everyone's playing together.
There's no NDA. There's nothing secret. We're streaming it on Twitch, like if you're on YouTube. Like you guys want to cover it on your YouTubes or your Twitches, you're welcome to. I mean, just keep in mind as you're seeing, it's going to be a little bit raw. There's going to be some bugs, but you know, it's going to get there over time. Like you can see right now, this is bloody annoying. I felt, who was it? There was someone playing last night that was like building the bases of all bases. And he was having the hardest time. Krieg Corpse. Where like I felt so bad because he was building like sandbags and Hescos and barbed wire. And the auto build wasn't working. So he had to like manually right click on every instance. And I was like, I am so sorry for you right now, man. That worked in all of our closed tests. I don't know why it's not working right now. That is on our bug list. Because right now, this guy should have chose the help. So it's some kind of like optimization or thing that's going on that we need to look into. Guys, we need to get lights operational because it's going to get nighttime soon. And that's the other thing is that we have the call-in timer up there working, but it doesn't actually show like the time of day. So we'll get that in there so that way you guys can communicate, oh, it's about to be nighttime. It's going to be pitch dark. Have we gotten base lighting operational? Do we have enough power for it? You know, all the logistical fun stuff that now is not just by yourself. It's a team effort kind of deal. Like the garrison tents where like, as this guy is building, whoever, I don't know who's building those right now, it's like my population goes up. So like, you know, now it's like you're in charge. Like, you know, you can have like a set discipline, set responsibilities the moment the game starts kind of deal. Someone stole my operator. No, that's not an operator. Who's playing as an operator and about to die? Okay, go in the center. I'm going to build your triage tent because there's a limited amount of operators. So if you die, you're fucked. So hold on. Wait for my triage tent to come online, and then it's going to heal you, and then you're good to go.
I also just showcased the barracks.
So go into the radius. Let's see. Yeah, it's healing you. Fuck yeah. All right, it's healing you a little bit slower than I'd like. I'm going to have to look into that. But do you see it representing on your local HUD, your health? Excellent.
Yep.
No
It's
bugs
feeling
there.
it. Yeah,
I just
full
have to interpolate it better and make it animate a little bit better because it's doing it in huge strides instead of just a couple of health every couple of seconds. So I'll have to look into that. All right.
You have to fix up the recoil.
Oh,
the
you have to
recoil
add
defense.
attachments. Michael balanced the operators around the idea of like Call of Duty or Battlefield, where the base guns are not amazing, and it's the attachments that enhance them. So add an undergrip, so add a foregrip, add a magazine, add a scope, add a muzzle. The muzzle will affect your vertical and your horizontal. The foregrip will also affect your horizontal and vertical, and bring it down to a more manageable size. Because we wanted to add more nuance to the attachments, like in those other games where it's like you actually have to have attachments. They're not just
Yeah, wait.
set current, and then look at the console commands, guess numbers. Because right now I don't have a table for you, but like go to like set underbarrel detachment. That would be your foregrips. Set scope. That's your scopes. Muzzle, magazine. So you probably want to give yourself a drum mag. You want to give yourself the foregrip. That is like the standard one. That comes down, whatever, I forget the name of it. And then you want to give yourself a nice scope because that increases your critical hit chance. So you have a higher chance of stunning someone. No, don't do it.
Guessing numbers.
Fuck you. No. God damn it. Damn it, it crashed. It crashed the moment he died, too. Oh, to get material crashed. All right, let me log that. Again, these crashes are going to occur,
Those areas.
but we're putting them on a.
Am I dead on your screen?
The game crashed. I knew I should
that
just
makes
ordered him to stop building. I was hoping he was going to build the wall in time and then shoot the guy. That did not work out well. What are we on the clock? We have 10 more minutes to just showcase co-op, and then we're going to segue into the Q&A. I'm sure you guys are going to have lots of questions based off of everything you guys are seeing and the timeline and everything else.
Feel free to type questions now, and I'll start taking them down. Just for everyone.
Keep in mind,
you don't have the YouTube open. You'll have to check those.
Okay, session's back up. I'm gonna just do a barracks, and I'm going to do a generator, and then I'm going to do, and I'm gonna build.
Yeah,
Right off the bat, we're going to build an ammo depot for the operators that are playing with us. And then we're going to get some guard towers up this time just to kind of show the other systems in play. Can you not snipe my goddamn engineers? So it's whenever the engineers get sniped, it does like a weird RTS. Yeah, it's trying to apply a material to them. And that material does not have a proper safety associated with it. So that's fun. That's an easy fix to do, though.
I have opened up the YouTube now, so anyone watching on YouTube, you can also ask questions, and I will take them down.
So anytime I try and apply an attachment, it disconnects me.
Really? You did it? Which attachment? Why did it work on the other map? It's back up again. Sorry, guys.
Not.
Okay, well, it might be, it thinks you're cheating most likely. So I'm going to have to look into that and figure out why it thinks you're cheating and why you're disconnecting.
Okay, well, I'll just do the underbarrel. Hang on, let me do the underbarrel and see if it's just the underbarrel that causes it.
It might also be like an asset that's not properly like being replicated because the...
All right,
what?
It's a scope. Muzzle scope attachment 3 causes the game to
asset
disconnect.
could be corrupted. It could be a number of things. I'll have to look into that with Michael because right now the operators are like the low priority. We're trying to get all the RTS elements done, finalized for stage 1, and then at that point we're going to be focusing the last couple of parts of stage 1 to get the customization system online for the operators. Make sure the leveling system is working. Make sure you can call them in. And then that will be the conclusion of phase 1, going into phase 2, which will be doctrines and DNA research. The barracks is coming in. Oh, we're both building barracks, so we're good. We have redundancies. And then you can also see the new zone system that was voted in on Discord, where people wanted us to go in the direction of having regional power instead of localized power. So we went ahead and did that. So then that way you were able to have it to where like you could give power to a zone. and that would allow you to like you don't have to babysit. There's no power lines anymore. None of that nonsense. Did someone just build 80 kabillion assaults? Holy shit!
Yes, I did. I need my search.
Okay, I'm gonna have to steal like 10 from you or something, because like yeah, our population is GG done. All right, so let me focus on building then. While you're doing that, I'll get some turrets up and set up a little defensive line.
Hey, another thing I'll have to send you later is don't attach the magazine. My gun has vanished.
Really?
I can still shoot, but my
I
gun
believe
has
it.
vanished.
Again, the attachment system for the operator is one of the last things that we have on our line items to do before we complete phase 1 in our minds. So then that way we can hand it off to people to play. Because again, there's a whole GUI UI that's like Call of Duty Battlefield Gunsmith that we have for the operators. They allow you to choose your appearance, your attachments, and your abilities. Abilities being the abilities from like the assault, the heavy, the engineer, so that your operators can build. Your operators can increase their fire rate like the heavy. Your operators can throw grenades, that kind of stuff. So those are the elements that I was talking about previously that are going to conclude phase 1, which is basically the ability system, finishing the mini-map, and then getting it. Well, it's the ability system, it's the mini-map, it's the operator polish, it's the bugs that you're seeing right now, and then it would be... yeah, that's everything actually. Yeah. That's pretty much everything in a nutshell that we have to do at this point to finish phase 1. And the operator section itself is probably a day or two, maybe 3 at most, because all the systems are there. It's just a matter of using all of the stuff that we've learned from replicating the RTS elements of the game and carrying them over, per se. And then making it to where, again, like your payload data comes over. Or like you can have I'm going to steal some of your assaults on the left. Fuck you. Thank you. I stole those.
Hey, you broke my circle.
I'll see you in hell. So,
I'm just getting a ground view of the formation system in.
Oh yeah, that's the formation system in play, fully replicated with co-op support. So that way, like they actually try and stay together as a group instead of like separating like they would in Legacy. Let's see how well it works right now. So I'm going to order a move, and I'm going to see are they going to go around the generator or stay all on the same side of the generator. Oh, thank you, good shit. Yep, they decided to stay together instead of separating, and then those 2 or 3 guys could have been picked off and killed, isolated to everyone else. So the idea is that like they'll try and stay together. In some cases, I'm sure it might still fail. Let's see if it's going to fail. Nope, good to go. Because if had I issued the move order staggered more here, they would have made a decision to come through here and fold in, basically, to keep them together and to try and improve survivability chances. And then can someone click on one of my guard towers and try and change one of the weapons on them? Let me know which guard tower you're doing it on. I have a guard tower here and I got a guard tower there. Only one person.
I wonder, can I just commissar one of these
I don't know
guys?
what that means.
Oh, I can't.
Did someone try changing a weapon yet on the guard tower?
Fucking
We are
commissar.
just immediately going for the team kills.
If you won't serve on the front line, you'll serve on
Okay,
the
so
firing
Durvar,
line.
you're playing as the
Yeah, like,
operator, or who are you playing
my
as?
bullets don't work. What a grenade.
I'm playing as the operator right now. I'm running around. doing
Okay, so
generator on this
Chris
side.
and or Efren, can you select one of my guard towers and see if you can change out the weapon? Which one are you doing?
The one over there on the...
Mark it with your Control
corner.
R so I can make sure that's working. Control R and then left click.
It's gonna be like
Thank you.
it's gonna be so cinematic too. Imagine like filling out in like you've taken like the hospital, you're holding
it.
the line, slowly losing control, and then like someone calls in an airstrike.
It's
Like,
working. Good shit.
I can't wait to see like a whole Helldivers level of
He has a
cinematic
sniper
moments
rifle.
when you're just on the ground and then get like around you.
Okay, I fucked up. I didn't build lights. Sorry, boys. Can we get some flashlights on? Because someone like toggle some of the assaults and distribute them across the base. We don't have the flare ability in because that goes into the assault ability system I was talking about previously. Getting the ability, can we separate them, break them up, give some distribution of light across the base? Because one huge formation is not helping us for visibility. So the ability system is like the flare, the grenade, fire in the air, headshot ability. Anything that is invoked from the units in Legacy is the ability system. That's why when I click on the assaults, they don't do anything. Besides the engineer construction system, because that's not per se the ability system. It's kind of abstract from that. But, oh, fuck. We got a breach on the right side.
Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
Look on your phone your own time. We're in the shit now. So, yeah, they're getting to the guard tower.
I only have a pistol.
Okay, we're good. The assault wrapped it up.
Me and my...
We still have
And
some
then-
stragglers that are showing
gonna
up on the
come
mini
up
map. There's a couple. Oh, someone's already babysitting the assaults. And they're coming in from the north and the south. Let me open up the tactical map. Yeah, it's like they're brushing that hill. And I think that's what causes the navigation issues. So the newer map that Dimitri fixed, I'm going to have to like look into that one. That's spicy. That's fun. Okay, so that's working. That's good to go. Let me write some notes down real fast. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be for bugs with the older build from 24 hours ago. I don't have nearly as many notes to write down from what we had the first playtest with the patrons last night. I'm going to have to... So one of the things that I'm seeking to do is to have nightly or bi-weekly or some kind of automated schedule system. So what we have on the patrons right now, they can see what we're doing per the hour, per the minute, per the second. Every time there's an update pushed, they can see it. We're going to be making that public. People can see when we're contributing or doing stuff to our SDK. And the idea is that while we're in this like period of like evaluation and getting the co-op in, when we get to the point of the builds are more solidified, I'll write an automated build script system that will push nightly or bi-daily or by whatever week updates automatically and then post a summary of everything that's changed from the commit logs from the last build to the next build. That way, you guys automatically get a nightly build that you can play test and just have fun with every couple of days. I have to figure out if it's going to be every couple of days, is it going to be every Friday, every Saturday? It might just be after every podcast. So that way we build up to every Saturday, and then 2 to 3 hours after the podcast, it automatically builds and submits it so you guys can play what you saw that week. Because I've talked about this for weeks. That's the goal. We've been trying to get to this point for 2 fucking months. Is basically get to the point where after every podcast, we can cook a build, and then you guys can play what we saw. Now, it's not just abstract elements, it's actual gameplay. And now it's more meaningful when you guys get to play it on your end user side of things, I would wager. Because, I mean, nobody wants to open a map, move a camera around for 5 seconds to be like, oh, that's enough. That's my day for the day. You know, now you can actually, like, jump in, build stuff, and play stuff with your friends. Now, mind you, the build that I give you guys can play by yourselves. So if you know how to use console commands in the Unreal Engine, if the game gets too big later tonight and we have too many people trying to play with us, you guys can break up into subgroups. And if you know your Steam ID, which you can get from your profile, you can use the same console commands that I'm using and host your own games privately. I won't be able... I mean, the idea is we're trying to make it to where you guys can all at least play with us so we can see the feedback and the bugs and talk to you guys. But, like, we have 21 people on the podcast channel. A lot of people lurking on YouTube and probably even more waiting until we go into the general comms. So we're probably going to overload my network once we get above like 10 to 15 people. But we'll see. So we might have to break up into subgroups and then just have a developer in every group or whatever. And keep in mind, after the build concludes and we're done tonight, it's going to delete from the Steam. So just be aware of that as when I deactivate it. And then we'll have another build or another playtest that we're going to stream around Wednesday. That'll be on Twitch for the developers. And then around Wednesday, we'll make the determination, is it good enough to put out to everyone? Or do we need to hold off a couple other days? Well, you guys will see for yourselves when you play it tonight. So everything is looking good. I think we're going to wrap it at this point because we're at the 20 to 30 minute mark. We need to go into Q&A. And then at that point, while the Q&A is going, I'm going to answer questions to the best of my ability while I get those bug fixes in so we can get the newer build out for you guys to play test. We're good for you guys? Do you guys have enough questions saved out? Can we drop the play test part?
Do we have questions ready? Let me check YouTube again.
I'm gonna pop out of the game and end it for everyone that's in here right now. And then we're going to switch over to the Q&A section. And then I'm going to close the game.
One on YouTube, got any questions?
Okay.
Everyone's really happy though. All the chats are like,
Hooray, co-op is finally
Multiplayer.
almost here. Okay.
Yeah.
Only took
5
5
years.
It was 5 years trials, tribulations, crying in the corner, and
Meant to be
yeah,
like that. Meant
yeah.
to be like
I
that.
cry every time. Okay, well then, give me some questions. I'm gonna open up the SDK and see if I can figure out what's going on with the water.
All right. Let's start with operators then. I'm gonna go for the pronunciation. Qlibly asks, will grenades be like ammo, or how it currently is, like an ability that costs some money?
Ooh, the spicy questions. So that one is going to come down to playtesting. Right now, we're going to put it in there to cost money. But I purposely want to go in a direction of tying it directly to supply, where assaults and some classes would have a predisposition of ammo. I don't like the company heroes approach because it makes it too easy for a zombie game. I like the idea of you actually have to like have a certain amount of ammo and gear on your units, and if you run out, you're fucked. Go back to a resupply. Call it an ammo box. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go on. Fuck it. Rip off the band-aid. I'm just gonna go in the direction of making it to where grenades are a finite amount on units, and you actually have to plan for logistical change, especially for the operators. You use all your grenades, you're out, and you have to basically go back to a resupply point because then it makes the game harder as well and rewards people that plan ahead and actually have logistical chains. You don't like it, you just turn on infinite ammo and you're happy in the custom game settings. That way, everyone's happy. Next question.
Yeah. Absolutely. Actually, I'm gonna cheat. But people, please type in more questions. But I'm gonna steal and ask one myself. In terms of, I know I'm such a bad host. In terms of like the operator mode, you were talking about like thinking about the movement and how it should handle. So are you leaning towards kind of like, just based on what you were thinking about earlier, are you leaning more towards kind of like a vault and maybe like a clamber system, or like just the jump, like the freeform just leap over things?
Oh, are you talking about for like vaulting over objects?
Yeah, for like movement, like in spacebar to jump, or like spacebar to like, clamber over something. Like just have a little animation where you can like slide across the hood of a car or something, or climb up over a short wall.
I'm not sure about that one yet because that's something that we talked about. Michael was wanting us to try and see the division route. I don't think that's going to I don't think that's going to live that much longer. I think it's going to be shot in the back. So I think at this point we're going to go the route of Battlefield Call of Duty for their approach because like you figure that's the better game to draw a parallel to. So I would use them as the golden staple and try and achieve what they do for the mantling system and being able to vault over objects that are under a certain bias. But I wouldn't plan on that being in the first couple of builds. I would plan on that being like more of a polish item over time where we release without the jumping. And you can walk off of ledges and whatnot. And then it's something that we could build towards basically over time. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Qlibly, God, that name is hard to pronounce. Asks again, and this is an interesting one. Will operators / certain units as abilities possess other utility consumables instead of something like grenades, such as first aid kits, deployable barricades, noisemakers?
So keep in mind, abilities is a blanket term. Abilities is anything that a unit can bring in that makes them unique from just being their weapon and their health. So that's like setting up the DNA harvesting thing for the scientists. That's setting up a riot shield that you can use for cover. It's anything that adds that special nuance to the heavy or the sniper. So yes, all of those abilities that are baked in right now for Legacy will come over in a pool that you can allocate to for the operators, as well as each unique permutation of their individual classes. Because the idea is the operators are supposed to be your whatever you want to make them. They're a hybrid. They're really good at CQB. They're really good at sniping. They're a medic / engineer hybrid where they can build, but they can also heal. That kind of stuff. So those are the directions that we're going into.
I'm curious. Will we be able to spec out our operators to be like less combat and more support? Like, can we have a scientist like abilities so we can collect
Yes,
DNA
absolutely,
as
absolutely.
operators?
That's so the DNA collecting ability is passive for scientists, but it would be something that you can invoke and use a point, and then you can make it to where your operator can collect DNA. Your operator can place the DNA collecting machines on the level. So then that way it builds towards a non-combatant role, essentially, because that's the biggest thing about the operator is giving as many opportunities to play. Even if you're not even playing like first personally as a TPS perspective, and you're playing from a RTS perspective, you can make non-combatant operators that are like they complement your squad and they fill that one role, and then you have the other roles filled by your other operators or your generic assaults or whatever class. You know what I mean?
What you're telling me is that I'm going to be able to roleplay as a Half-Life
Essentially,
scientist.
yeah, you can role play as Gordon Freeman. It's just the only difference he's going on a murdering spree when someone looked at him the wrong way today.
That's brilliant.
Can I get a flamethrower?
Maybe
You
that's not on
personally
the
know
that's not
other
on the
people
initial
sure.
list. But I'm sure we're gonna get enough people asking to where Michael's gonna sigh, and then we're gonna have to sneak it in now because you figure the base weapons for the operators. I think there's a. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's around. Hold on, I don't want to say the wrong number, or then everyone wants to murder me. Let me check something.
That's all right.
I will bug the shit out of Michael.
You
just
probably
to
get a
get
message him
flamethrower.
every fucking day for the next
I can
month.
answer a
Sorry,
few
Michael,
smaller
sorry.
questions while we wait. Gavin/Kai asks, are units going to be assigned specifically to the player that requests/trains them, or will everything be usable by everyone? For now, everything is shared, including
Can
population
I show something real
pools.
fast? I'm gonna
I
steal
believe-
something so people know what's coming down the pipe and they understand what I'm talking about. So this is our operator builder tool. And the idea is that it takes inspiration from like Call of Duty and Battlefield. And the profiles are your classes. And the idea would be is that you go down here and you choose a different appearance. And they have like a walking animation. And they have an idle animation that they play. And yes, there's men. They exist in our universe. So I know people have been mad that all we ever had are girls. Don't murder me. So you figure, but the idea is that you could go to edit internal build, and then those are all the weapons that we have right now for the operator for the primary weapons, and then the secondary, and then the melee, and then that's going to be the your ability. So the bottom area, bottom left, is going to change. And that's going to be not just AT grenade, but it's going to be like a Skyrim or like a talent tree based thing where you spend points to add abilities on, like your ability to throw a grenade, ability to place a DNA scanner, ability to pick up DNA samples. And it takes away from a point allocation that you gain per level. So like if I go to this weapon, I don't know why my mouse is not rendering. This UI has not been touched in like a dynasty. So it's kind of buggy. This is what I mean by like we have to go through and like these are old prototypes that we did in an empty standalone project so we could visualize how do we envision the operator to function without the overhead of the RTS elements. So like if I go over here and I choose like the AK-105, then that comes up. And then if I choose like the FAMAS, that comes up. And then if I choose, the other ones are not unlocked because they require a level requirement. And then you can see they play like a default animation. And they're different variations of the guns that you get from RTS because they have a frame established that allows you to basically like attach different things to them, like foregrips and whatnot. So it's not your standard P90. It's not your standard MP7. It's like a framework that allows more customization, and all the animations are super whip. If I could just see my bloody mouse. See, this is a bug. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. If I hover over it, there we go. And then that's the weapon gunsmith. Where the idea is you come in here, and then, oh yeah, it's not populating. This is what I mean. Like, they're all in there, but we have to fix them. Can I bug myself? Oh, fuck no. It's not working. Oh, is it? If I choose this, is it going to crash? No, it's not working. So yeah, the idea is that you come in here, and then if it was working, which is not. We have to basically add in the foregrip and the scope and the magazine. You can change them here, and as you level up a weapon, like you can see right now, this weapon level is 0. So as you level up a weapon, you would get attachments that you unlock. And each weapon has a different max level based off of the amount of attachments that you can unlock in gameplay. And these would benefit you in the RTS and in the TPS because your friends can bring these in as their Call of Duty Battlefield commanders, but then you can use them as your Colonel Burton, your Winters, your make it hero of like however you want to play the game today, basically. And then you can make a deck. So the idea is that you make as many profiles as you want, like 4 operators, 5 operators, 100 operators. I don't care what you do. And then the idea is that you'd have an operator call-in window, and that allows you to pick one. They come in, they parachute, and you assign. And each profile is a different leveled character. Think of it as like you go into an MMO and you're leveling up a character. You start over from 0 on each one is the idea. Oh, that's bad. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, that's the general gist there in terms of how that works. Let me close out of that. Okay, because the packet. I fixed the error, so I just have to like package it now and get it to you guys. Anyway, back to the question. Sorry, I interrupted you earlier.
Yes. Just to finish up what I was saying, Gavin/Kai. Yeah, everything's shared for now in terms of units, but I believe later on, the team is going to look at having an option to have like separate like money and
It
stuff
already is
per
in
player.
there. We just didn't use it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
The only thing that you can't do right now is you can't separate the operators. So, like, if someone calls in an operator, technically there's an exploit where you could get anyone could just steal your operator and run away with them. So it's one of those things where we need.
Right.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where like we have to fix that, so that way it understands like, hey, that player owns this operator, and you can't use that operator unless they let you, kind of deal. We have to add like an ownership system above the base ownership system where they understand this operator is exclusively owned by player blah 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 blah, and they're the only ones that can possess them, because nobody wants to leave an operator from possessing them, go and build something, and then come back and find Durvar ran off with them because I like the weapon you were using. And then you just can't play as your own operator because someone's a dick. So it's one of those things where like that's something that we need to bake in there. Then that way it's supported from the game level of like, no, you can't control someone else's operator right off the rip by default. And then if people want to, we can add those systems facilitated of like gifting an operator. Theoretically, the gifting system would already work for that, so it should be fine once we add that level of authoritative check. Anyway, I have more questions. I'm starting to build upload. I fixed the bug that we had in the newer build for everyone to play, so I'm cooking another build right now as we talk, and then I'll have it ready for everyone to play.
Cook.
I would never run away with someone.
Yes, you would. You deleted me.
Never.
No, you would never. You're innocent. Quilby asks, will weapons be choosable as slots, or will each... Oh, okay, no, I understand the question. So, your primary, secondary, and I assume melee is they exist as slots that can only have certain things in them.
Wildlands,
whereas
that kind of stuff.
Things like grenade, calling in, your actual like specializations as an operator will be the ones where you have points, and it's just sort of based on how much you've earned. And obviously, to a limit,
Absolutely.
I assume you can't be the engineer, spec ops, medic, commander, strike force, airstrike caller.
So yeah, that's the
all
other thing.
one.
The operators will be able to call on airstrikes. So you figure when we get the ability system in, and then we start phase 2 of the doctrine doctrine stuff, we have to put the new airstrikes in that Dimitri's been cooking up, and we'll have a laser finder or some kind of designator where the operator can choose it in their perspective and call in airstrikes and mark paint a zone. But beyond that, to add a little more detail to what Winter is saying, is that you would have a certain amount of skill points you get every time you level up. You spend those skill points on abilities. Those abilities have different costs. It's basically you have to choose which ones you want based off of what you can fit in that area. So say like a grenade ability is 2 points, and building a structure, field construction is 1 point, and then collecting DNA is 1 point. And every time you level, you get 1 or 2 points. these I'm just kind of saying it out loud kind of deal. These numbers are going to change when it comes to playtesting. So the idea is you have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
That when you get to your max character level, which is roughly, I believe, around 20 off the top of my head, then you would get a certain amount of skill points and you would allocate those as needed to basically be able to choose the abilities that you want. There was an idea of having a system on top of that was basically like you had like a Skyrim type system where it had like health, armor, and all this other stuff. I don't know if we're going to end up doing that because that might make the game a little too RPG-y. So for right now, we'll go with like the skill points, the weapon attachments, and the weapon leveling, and then we'll go with that, see how that feels, and then we'll reevaluate with the community at that point to see if we should go the route of like Skyrim, where you can build your character harder or softer or quieter or less likely to get infected. So let's say you're making a melee build, you would increase infected resistance, you would increase melee damage, you would increase health, and you take the compromise on like firing damage or whatever. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's starting to sound
Well,
like
that
an
was the
MMO.
idea that we had, and it's on the roadmap. So if you go to our roadmap website, hold on, I'll just show you guys to give you a visual aid to people that are like, what is he talking about? So
Also, with
Yeah.
with Riftval, right? With what he says,
What's he
I
saying?
agree. I would buy a Cepheus Protocol RPG. I would buy that. I would
what
hoover
are you
that.
just talking
game.
about?
The Elder Scrolls
Fucking
6
Cepheus
Cepheus
RPG.
Protocol.
Okay.
Hoover. Real game like that.
I'm trying to find the picture. Okay, here it is. Found it. So we had an idea that was basically along these ideas. Why is it doing a whip? God damn it. Everything just saves at a web HP now, and it's really goddamn annoying. Let me just open up Edge so everyone doesn't have to see my fucking browser preferences and crap. Okay, so this is what what? Screw you, AdBlock. So, share screen. Like this, basically. So this was the basic concept of what we were envisioning that we're going to implement at the end of stage 1. So we'll get to finish the minimap and the ability system and fix the bugs you guys are going to run into and fix the bugs you saw. And then we're going to implement this at the end of phase 1, which will cement them as like what I talked about, where you have like the abilities and you have the attributes. So the attributes is what I was talking about for what you guys are saying to make it more like an RPG or whatever, where the idea is that would allow you to spec them, have a little bit more granularity or control, because the operators still start at a base health, and like the heavy still has a higher health than the assault. So this would allow you to basically like actually allocate the attribute points to be able to make the operator play how you want them to play per se. Let me close that. So that's an idea essentially of what I'm explaining there. We'll have to see how that goes and do some early play tests. Okay, the build's done. Let me open it and make sure everything's working before I prepare to open it up for everyone else. More questions. We're running out of time before we open things up.
Yes, sorry, I let you talk too much. It's my
God,
bad.
what a dick.
I know, right? What
What
an
an
ass.
asshole.
Creekcore asks if could we see that engineers have? I assume you mean as operators. Will we be able to build everything that engineers can?
I think
I
the
believe
walls are the
yes.
only thing where we're going to have to come up with a new way of doing it, because the walls require a special perspective. So I think the walls are the only thing where it's like we're going to have to probably put that like a thing in that. But if theoretically everything else can just be built by just looking at something, so we can emulate the code and patch it over.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. And to answer another question that someone had about engineer ability while controlling operator, yes, I believe the current plan is that you will be in third person and able to place and build buildings like a TF2
yeah, that's
engineer.
the idea with the ability system. Is once we get that in there, we can add that as a ability to the operator, and then make it to where you can choose that based off of like a point allocation. Okay. It's updating right now. Then I'm going to verify, and then once I verify, we will conclude the podcast. Well, technically we have 20
Go
minutes technically,
live.
but we can end it early if there's not enough questions.
It's all right. Yeah, in terms of the engineers having access to that other stuff, Creek Core, I'm not entirely
question?
sure about. I would adore if engineers solely had access to T barriers for purpose of closing down streets. An
What's a T
impassable
barrier?
barrier, as we were speaking of that functionality last night. I assume this is something
What's a
you
T
spoke
barrier?
with about.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know either. Is it like Pesco's?
But yeah. Let me Google it. Hang on.
Well, he's in the room.
Quick, emergency Google. Kai asked, "Is there any plans for PvPvE with other factions such as the police or riders /
There's no plans
bandits?"
for PvP at this time. All of our efforts are going into the co-op
Yeah.
effort for Sook versus Infected. We'll reevaluate that
Yeah,
as time progresses.
after. Yeah, like way later on down the line when it's like when there's the space to look at it.
A concrete barrier. A T barrier. Concrete barrier.
Oh, someone had a really actually important question about operators getting to the front lines quickly. Like,
RTS
will
players
operators be
ferried
able to like?
operators can be ferried by RTS players. Put them in a helicopter, put them in a vehicle.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hop in. You'll be able to ride in the back of vehicles and stuff. I think you said
Helicopters
eventually
one day.
you want operators to drive ground
when
vehicles
we
as
do
well, but you're not sure about aircraft.
the helicopters are the only thing that keeps me up at night. We have to write a brand new system for that. So that's one of the things that's more speculative. But the vehicles, it's already in Fortnite, so we should be able to take that system and adapt it so operators can drive, and operators could already drive in some earlier legacy experimental builds. So it should be no different here, and it's just a matter of updating the code to modern standards.
You probably don't want me controlling the helicopter when you get on, because I will likely fly you out to the middle.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, you don't want Robert.
I fly
to
good.
No, you
I
don't. I'm the
fly-
one who always flies and goes recon.
You are terrible at flying, Robert.
He is. See, he's quiet
you
now.
are.
He knows. He agrees.
You are the worst pilot. When we were playing, what was it? I think it was the thing on COD. We had a helicopter, right? And you flew and you crashed this into that was like dead ahead of us. You didn't even try to avoid.
And he always has his saying, combat landing.
Oh, yeah.
Combat landing.
Landing means we're crashing. We're going to get there real fast. We're just going to have to run from a plane that's on fire.
Robert's playing style? Hold up.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah. We're talking play style. Join us, Michael.
God help us.
I
play real good in that game. You're the one that only built snipers to troll me.
No, you guys, nobody understands. I've known this man since he's been was in high school. So I got to play Company of Heroes with him way, way back. This man will bait you and use your troops as cannon fodder for his own, literally just to make himself look.
What are you talking about?
He'll finish the match and be like, "Oh, you lost so many people." I was like, "Yeah, because you said, hey, can you go hold this?" And then you came in, swooped in like I'm.
What are you talking about? That was strategy. He had to hold it, and I was a relief force.
He does.
Yeah, and then that one time he was like, "Oh, I need you to build snipers." I build snipers, and then I'm broke. And then he's like, "Oh, why don't you have tanks yet? I have tanks."
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, continue. I just had to chime in for that.
He does that to me all the time when we play Company Heroes 3. Is, "Oh, why do you have jeeps?" It's like, what? You asked me to do that.
Not all jeeps, though. But anyway.
You did. You said build jeeps to get a scouting thing up. So I did. I was broke, and then you were like, "Oh, where's your infantry?"
Yeah, you gotta have a distribution of units. I'm sorry, you guys are bad. Damn bad.
We're bad. I held the front line jeeps. You lost
I
all
don't
of
recall
your
this
tanks.
story, sir. But anyway, what else do we have for questions?
I think we've got one more
Okay.
interesting one, also revolving around operators and vehicles. If an RTS player has like a dude sitting in a Humvee and an operator jumps in, will they be able to just like boot the driver and take over? Or
so as we prototyped it previously, we had it to where if an operator jumps into a vehicle that already has people inside of it, the driver gets put into like a state of limbo. He doesn't necessarily get kicked out of the vehicle, but he's still in the vehicle, but the operator can control the vehicle. We never got as far as having it to where they can go into a passenger seat. That's something that we're going to have to look into doing it this time around, like an armor. So the idea would be is that way, like they could jump in and then an RTS player could essentially like drive them somewhere. And then when they're ready, they press E to get out and they just get out on whatever point they got in on. So we'll be looking at a lot of Arma, and a lot of Call of Duty and Battlefield to get influences on just basically like how we should go about doing some of these systems. We have enough time for a couple more questions, and then we're going to conclude and start the public playtest.
Somebody has their
Is
hand.
it Craig? It's Craig. I'll invite him. Yeah, I saw his hand up, and I was like, are they going to pull him up yet? What's up, Craig?
I didn't even see.
Never did I until then.
All right. So essentially, what I was trying to say in the comments was between engineers and assault infantry, engineers have access to walls, but from what we were talking about last night, Dark, the test that we did was that the infantry assaults have access to HESCOs, barbed wire, and Jersey barriers, whereas the engineers don't. And rather than having 2 units doing construction, because I imagine most of us will be using our units very sparingly if we stick to director's cut and going forward with the new map or however we play, that engineers have access to HESCOs and Jersey barriers and barbed wire, rather than it just sticking to assaults in the menu. I know that the engineers have quite a plethora of things to build as it stands, but for barriers and walls.
Oh, yeah. That was...
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I did mention it. I was like, no, I have to have 2 squads now, rather than just having the engineer.
No, I get what you're saying. I need to think about that one. Because the biggest reason why we ended up going in that direction was to have some kind of separation of duties, so you still had have a separation of like the assaults would fill the field construction, the engineers built the more heavy, more like in the the more like long standing structures like the barracks and the tents and the towers, and the assaults were meant for temporary quick fortifications like the field constructs, and that way they all kind of fit a role within that like umbrella.
If it's perhaps not too heavy for the workload that you guys have, we could possibly consider a combat engineer that's more of a mix between an engineer and assault, like you were talking about before, where you could have a mix of units, like a symbiosis, like a symbiote of 2 different classes, where a combat engineer might have a heavier weapon, but not exactly a heavy, because you have to use the command center to access a heavy unit. And you could use the combat engineer to put up these HESCO barriers and jerseys, just to add a bit more, like,
Nuance.
more variation, nuance between the units that we use, and kind of like formatting our squads a bit better, as much as we can have operators and so forth, for those that are focusing solely on an RTS aspect, on locking down certain perimeters and neighborhoods.
Okay.
And we could, set up a combat engineer being the main engineer, whilst back at MOBs or FOBs that we have up would be just our engineers, and then costing a bit more because they might have more of a firepower effect, maybe something to do with grenades or some sort of explosive element added in with a heavier weapon, might be an MG of some sort. Depends on what you guys think.
Let me think about that. I'm not gonna play against it, but I need to let me brainstorm that, and we'll come to a conclusion in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I just need to get the rest of the classes in, get the gameplay fully working. I need to get Dimitri to fill in this map so I can see, because the map needs to be like a little more filled in with like buildings and cities and streets. So then that way I can get a better judgment of like when you actually do push out, how annoying is what you're saying. Make sure the Circ Tech can build all the extra auxiliary units and then get to the point where I can play it and I can better visualize what you're getting at. And then at that point, we'll come to a conclusion in terms of the best way of tackling that. Just hanging tight a little bit longer on that one because I need to just see how it comes to fruition.
Of course, this is far, like, not too far future, but within, after the time that you guys need to consistently like go ahead with the rework that you're going ahead with. Like, you've got this co-op out pretty quickly, and like from perspective of the Patreon playtest that we did last night, it was extremely fluid. Like, there was no issues of connection. If anything, there was only one person who dropped from connection, that they said at least. And from what you were mentioning before, it seemed to be more of a bug, like with the armaments changing out attachments potentially. The reason why they actually got deconnected, because Unreal's like, because using the Unreal multiplayer plugin, right? But through Steam's backend.
We're not actually using any plugins. We programmed it ourselves. It's going to the Steam backend via the relay service.
All right, then.
Yeah, all the multiplayer was done custom by us because we didn't want to go through a middleman plugin. But this, yeah.
All right, well, you did it absolutely like solid. It was very solid. I experienced no issues because I was trying to. I mentioned in the chat that I was trying to like force a deconnection, because most of the RTS games that I play, like between Command and Conquer, that's always been quite solid, even with it being aged at this time. Call to Arms and Men of War, those experience resource desyncs or desyncs quite a lot, but from the game that we had with about 8 to 5 players, consistent.
I'm curious to see how it goes today.
No issue whatsoever, and I was forcefully like downloading between 3 different apps, just random games that I had within my library that were quite large, and I've got a large amount of megabytes. Like I've got a 3 gig download upload, and I experienced no issue whatsoever. That's why I was downloading through 3 apps. I didn't disconnect because of that at all.
I dig it.
But yeah, no, great work for you all.
Oh, we appreciate it. We put in a lot of time, and effort into it, and we just need to get it over the hurdle at this point. All right, well then that works out for me. Let's see. Are there any other questions while we wrap it up and start the public playtest?
Let me just quickly check the YouTube.
Hey, Winter, you and I are going to lose our jobs as Creed because people
Jesus
love
Christ.
it.
Well, time zone probably works out better.
Oh.
The poor Europeans don't have to get up at like midnight. Sorry, stay up past midnight.
We were talking about having
Obviously, this is
podcasts
early
to come on
build.
randomly every couple of weeks. He could be like a guest when we bring him on every couple of weeks, whenever he wants to.
I'd be happy to have a guest.
You'll be like, hey, can you show up? I'll be like, no, I'm too tired. No.
Oh wow.
Vehicle pathing polish.
Vehicle pathing polish is
what impact has... No, sorry. Say a few words on the vehicle pathing polish and whether it's planned.
It's a huge major line item in stage 2. We're going to take it along the route of we're going to do the doctrines and the airstrikes and the support items, and then we're going to focus solely on porting over the Abrams, the Bradley, and all the other legacy vehicles, and then make it to where we focus quite a bit of time fixing and ironing out their pathfinding and making them work with the new formation system that we have implemented for infantry. So that is one of the major things that I foresee taking stage 2 take it longer, because like the airstrikes and the doctrines are just simple numbers. Like they're just new ability. Like once the ability system is in, most of the work is done. That's going to kick our ass in phase 2, besides the vehicles and the helicopters, which is the same thing basically. So that's why when someone asked me last night, we were in that channel with the Patreons, and he was like, how long was I going to take for stage 2? It's like, I honestly don't know, because I don't want to give a number and be wrong, because you figure I don't want to just put a time on the pathfinding and then say we have to cut it and it's not done and the vehicles still are retarded half the time. like I explained to the kid last night, I was saying is that like I'm redoing the helicopter AI from the ground up. I want to make it to where they don't crash into buildings randomly when you're giving them move orders. They need to have a proper Z-finding pre-generated nav mesh that understands the level geometry so they know to stay the hell away from a building. Oh, they know to go above the building.
Search drivers need
Yeah,
more
so it's one of those
lessons.
things where it's like the helicopters and the vehicles pathfinding is what's going to be what kicks our ass the most in phase 2. And everything else, the reason why we structured it in the way we're doing it is that we can keep the content going as long as possible once we leave phase 1 and get you guys the airstrikes and the DNA, and not the DNA, but the support object, the airstrikes, the doctrine tree as a whole, the new abilities, and then there will be like a span of time, a couple of weeks or a week or two, or working on the vehicles, and maybe it takes less time than I imagine because we have more resources available to us nowadays. But then it would be like the helicopters and the ground vehicles and getting those in there and making sure they're done correctly. And then at the same time, there's the flip side of making it to where when we do the vehicles, everything that Derek and I do has to be able to possessable or controllable from an operator. So we'll be doing that at the same time and making it from the onset, where if I'm an operator and I walk up to an Ajax, I'm driving that Ajax like Fortnite. So like you figure I can directly walk up to it, press E, and assume control, and setting up the systems of where does the driver go, that kind of stuff. So those are the things that might take a little bit longer, which is why I'm like not giving an exact timeline for phase 2 being done.
Yeah,
all right, so that's
so Donavir is going to eventually run us all over with a Bradley.
All right, let's wrap it there. Let's start the public playtest. We won't bother getting the outro. You guys already know. Support us on Patreon. Buy the Steam support packs and all the other stuff if you're interested, like what you're doing. We appreciate you guys all coming and seeing what we have to show, giving us the patience, and having a dialogue with us in terms of what you like and what you don't like. We always appreciate that. Now we're going to jump into the general comms channel. In general comms, we're going to drop a password for Steam beta. We'll drop it in the YouTube channel as well. And we'll drop the join code. And then from there, you'll be able to join my game. And we'll do a quick playtest, see how it goes, see how many players we can get in, and have a good time. If it starts being crazy and we have too many people in one room, we're going to have to break it up into devs. And each dev will have a room that they host and do it that way. All right. So I'm going to drop the password in. So give me a moment. So I'm just going to go ahead and do what I said I wasn't going to do, boys. We're going to go into switch over to voice channel general comms. I'm going to end this room. Okay, so now that we're in here.
Right.
You might accidentally get killed.
So the Steam
user entered
ID,
your channel.
The Steam beta code is in general comms. I'm typing it in right now.
God.
The update is about 4 gigs. You're going to do it to experimental and not the base game. So there's the Steam beta code. I'm dropping it in the YouTube chat as well. And then to join my multiplayer session, because the Steam update is out. So if you're a developer, close and reopen Steam. It will grab the update with the updated fixes and whatnot. And then to join my game, you're going to type in this command into console. If anyone's ever played Half-Life 2 or has ever modded a game ever, like Skyrim, you hit the tilde key, you control C and control V that in, and you'll be able to join my multiplayer session. We'll stage on Alcatraz, and then we'll switch over to the other one as people, as we get a couple people in. So I'm not just sitting on an RTS co-op map and there's nothing going on. And then let me switch the stream over onto YouTube, so people that can't play with us that are on their phone or whatever can at least see what's going on. Let me see. Everything's good. That's up. The server is online, so you guys can join at your own pace. You'll be thrown in the little Alcatraz hub, and then you can walk around and you can explore for a bit while we wait for people to join. After we get like 2 or 3 people in, we'll immediately jump over into the RTS element. And just to recap, it's Steam Experimental. You right-click, you go to Properties, you type in the beta code, you opt into it. Once you opt into it, you're going to launch the game, and then you're going to run that console command to join my game.
We permitted to talk.
Oh,
Is it
it's
still
it's
going
it's
through to
stream,
your
but if
YouTube
you guys
pod?
want, I mean, they should hear you guys talk anyway. So feel free to talk. Just don't get me banned.
You're all allowed to
Yeah,
exist.
just don't get me banned.
I'm allowed to exist. Thank you. I didn't know you were a part of the UK parliamentary system or the
That being
Australian
said,
counterpart.
I think I am going to head off and start my day here. Thank you all for coming to the podcast and everything, and I'll hopefully see you all next week.
You gotta
Yeah,
actually play with this when you're back.
Well, until
Let's see. It's funny how all the developers ran away.
This is giving off Zeus vibes.
Zeus vibes? What's Zeus? Oh, Arma Zeus vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you. Who is that?
yeah, I was mentioning that last
this
time.
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
So yeah, no, we're gonna have the name tag soon.
Long time listener.
Yeah,
first
no,
time
you're
caller.
good. We need it. We're gonna be putting in the name tags and all that soon because right now we can't cross communicate well at all. So you're welcome to explore and look around
So
while you
on
wait.
Right. So my top left, I'm seeing. I can only assume
It's the
there's
mini
a
map,
map,
and it's
and
yeah,
then
it's
there's a
not
message.
generated for this map yet. So don't worry about that.
No.
There is a message behind it, and it looks moderately important to specifically my client, but I cannot see
Oh,
that.
I don't even see that on mine. Do you guys see that too?
Again, it's probably just my
No,
client,
I do not.
specifically me, because my computer's
Okay.
dog ass.
Well, yeah.
I'm
Is it in red
seeing
text?
a 826.591 megabytes over budget, extremely poor performance, probably because my RAM stick is probably frying.
Oh, I
itself.
know what that is. It's because it's over your VRAM, your video card. So
Yeah,
I got that for a single frame last night.
it's because this map is not pre-baked in the HLODs, so you're streaming in all the texture data raw. There's no optimization on this map right now. It's still a blockout, so it's gonna be kind of all over the place for this map. For like, we have to like do the polish passes. It's not like
it's fine.
Okay, so we're getting people. Damn, you guys have fast internet.
Yeah, to see if
How did you?
You jump off. Just jump off.
Okay, well,
Am I still?
Geronimo.
Can you tell me if I still have the parachute, or do either of us still have the parachute?
You took off the parachute.
Yeah, there's a bug. Like there's a
Is it
bug where
gone?
sometimes the parachutes don't go away.
Did you fix
We have to
it?
fix that.
Oh, you got to keep it in.
It's
for
like
a
it's
little
not fully understanding that you've landed, and then it fixes randomly after a couple seconds if you do. Like one of you guys is fixed and the other one didn't. I think we have enough people where we can start the RTS element now. You guys ready?
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
So again, just have fun, play it, communicate amongst each other, have a good time. There's gonna be bugs. The camera is a little bit weird at times, so just bear with me there. We do have to put some more fixes in. So you're gonna have to rejoin. So it's gonna kick you out in a second, and then you're gonna hit the tilde key, press the up arrow to auto fill in the last message, and press enter. Okay, so the session is up. Go ahead and join. All right, got 2, 3, 4. Okay, so go ahead and play. Try building, see how it feels. The camera is something that we are still working out. We were doing some improvement. Does a jitter happen still to you, Craig?
Ooh. No, negative
So we fixed
on
it.
that. It's not happening anymore.
Is your
Yeah,
Q and
you
E
did,
working?
And the scroll is actually a lot better. Q and E is working. and
Okay,
it's fluid.
so I noticed the deceleration on the camera is too slow. So when you move around, you gain velocity too much, and it's just a little too fast.
Oh, whoa.
So just be aware of that. We're gonna come under attack in probably the next 30 to 40 seconds. Here they come.
Oh, here. Oh boy. Someone popping down a barracks. I can see you placing stuff down.
I'm gonna possess
I
an
got
operator.
a large energy on D zone. Oh, right, never mind. My engineer's dead.
What are you doing? Oh, someone took control of my guy.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing about this build that I'm learning the hard way is that we're going to have to
Right.
like make it
The
more
default.
obvious if someone has a unit on a control order, because it's way too easy to steal someone else's unit and not even realize they gave them an order pre-existing.
Right.
That's one of those UI things that we need to kind of iron out on our standpoint. Yeah, you put the code into the place. I think you're gonna have to get another engineer up and basically get that wall guarded.
We gotta get a
I'll go
barracks
over
up
there and
first.
guard you while you're getting the wall operational.
I got there is a wall order. I don't know if any of you can see it because
to the north.
the hologram not being completely visible. Yeah, north.
Right.
Can you mark it?
northwest. I think
Yeah,
it would be on this map. Yeah, it's
Control
control
Damn,
T.
the spitters are like goddamn
Oh,
Housers.
okay, it's not.
Can someone build me a medical tent?
What is it?
It's Control R,
T, isn't
Control
it?
T, and Control E. Each one's a different command.
It's not working for me no
Oh,
longer.
yeah, it's a little bit buggy at times.
For being in
Which
an
crash is
RTS mode.
this? Oh, that's the Sky Crane crash. Okay, that's a new one.
Well, the northernmost point next to the cliff facing Bravo. Oh, it crashed, yeah.
Okay, I think I joined.
Oh yeah, it crashed when you joined.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
there it is.
I'm restarting the server. We're gonna be hunting down and fixing these crashes over the next week. Okay, the server's back up. Feel free to rejoin. I'm gonna go grab an operator and just play in there. So, cause I never got to show that.
Okay, I'm covering specifically the eastern
All right.
side
It's
or the northeast.
Oh,
so it should
focus
be just
on the
Control
northwest.
R and Control T like that. Do you guys see that sword? Yeah.
Yes.
So weird.
Yeah, that's popping up.
There's a random bug where I guess sometimes the indicators don't appear, and it's something that we need to look into and figure out. I think it's a net relevancy issue. So yeah, I see you guys doing your building.
Okay, so I've got a barracks up. Alright, I'm gonna get a motor pool.
Do you need any side covered?
Getting the circle in the barracks up straight away.
Motor pool's on the way. I'll get a med tent towards middle. Oh, what happened? Oh,
We're
out.
out
Oh,
of money.
hold on.
Money,
I'll add money.
please.
Alright, I have downloaded.
There you go, $1 million.
Now I gotta get the.
They're coming in from the
Go on.
south. I'm
Same
marking it.
kind of million.
Okay, getting a med
Right,
tent
Mr.
up
Operator?
in middle area.
Oh god, fucking houses. We gotta lower the range on those spitters.
Yeah, please
Oh,
do. That damage is quite high. Has it been heightened since?
It was
Legacy?
pretty high in Legacy, but now it's more. I don't know if it's more obvious for operators, but like
I feel as though that either their accuracy or their damage has been increased.
it might be both.
Because in Legacy, it felt like they hardly hit you, but if you had a large group of people or a vehicle, they would
Yeah.
hit you. And the damage wouldn't be as much, but it would distract your units, and your units would prioritize the spitter whilst runners are running towards you. At least that's how it felt in Legacy.
I'm gonna have to play with that some more.
I'm sorry if it was already addressed. How do you take control of an
Click on an
operator?
operator. They're on the hill up there, and type in
Oh.
hit tilde and type in possess and then first operator. It'll auto complete and then press enter. It's tied into the ability system completion. So right now, operators can only be assumed by console commands.
Gotcha.
I do have a question. How were attaching the
The
attachments?
attachments would be that window that I showed earlier in the podcast. You would have to. I wouldn't recommend doing it because Dirvar was saying he was getting disconnected.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
it's
so
been fixed.
basically, you're gonna want to wait until we get the GUI up, the UI up in the next week or so, so you can just go in and just level up your weapons and customize them at your own heart's content. Because right now, I think I can do it because I'm the host, but if you do it, it might freak out.
I see. Should I try it?
I would
or
not try it,
yet?
no, because it's gonna kick you. It's gonna
I
think
would
you're
avoid it.
cheating.
I do like how I'm looking at the menu map on the bottom left, and I can see each direction each RTS player is
Yeah.
facing. I do like that little feature. That is really helpful. 'cause that allows
I
us
think
to-
We got the inspiration from that from Halo Wars, and we were like, "There's no way we can't do this."
I was gonna ask, is that like? a
Yeah,
Halo
we were
Wars?
playing Halo Wars, me, Duravar, and Chris, and a bunch of other people, and we were like, "Wait, like, how can we not have a level of precision RTS games we're making and not do this? It'd be like a disservice." So we were like, "Let's just use them for inspiration." So we ended up just doing it wholesale, and it's great.
Our group.
Yes,
Groups working right
the
now, or
control
no?
key, and then select
They
some
are?
units,
Okay.
and 1 through 9.
I'm talking about from recruitment, not even
Yes,
deployed
they
units,
that
units
should
haven't
work. If
deployed
it
yet.
doesn't, let me know, and we'll write it down. Who is an operator,
I
and
will
he's just
assign-
running
if I
around
might-
in a parachute?
I'm assigning 12 units to Group 7.
Okay.
We'll see how that.
Who's this person in front of
see
me?
how well that works.
a group.
Is that an operator in front of me? Like running around? Yeah, you. Who is that? Oh yeah, you're bugged in parachute state. There's 2 operators here. Yeah, this is cool.
A minor thing, but the fact that you can like run inside like the medical tent now and stuff is kind of
I am
cool
currently
too.
pointing up my weapon. So I got the parachute.
Yeah, you're on a parachute right now.
So I had a moment where I was coming from the mountain and I kind of just jumped on the side and was
Yeah, I
falling
know
stuck,
about that one.
and then
That's on my
that was
notes.
that.
I have to rework the parachute system going into next week on Monday, Tuesday. But rest assured, that's high on my priority list because we can't even call in operators reliably until that's fixed.
I see. On my side, I don't see anything wrong. Like, I don't see any parachute, pretty much.
Do you guys see
everything
him in a
seems alright,
parachute or no?
except maybe...
Oh, so it's a host issue. He's right here.
Negative.
Yeah, it's a host issue. I'll look into that. It's a listen server problem where something's not being communicated between us, and I'm not. It's a desynchronization. I have to hunt that down, and I apologize for, again. Like the auto repairing and building is not functional for some reason in this build. It works only in the editor. So the people that are building walls right now, if you cancel it, you have to manually go back and tell them to finish every wall segment. That's something that's really high on our priority sheet going into Monday as well. Amongst the crashers. The crashers are at number 1. And then we have like a 30 or 40 items on our Trello. Oh yeah, it's about to get real dark.
Funny. Yep.
And that's something else that we're going into this week is we're gonna fix the sky. The sky is no longer gonna look like we're in a fucking galaxy. And then we're gonna fix it to where like on another planet. And then we're gonna add it to where the buildings actually emit light. Because right now, once it goes nighttime, you can't see anymore. So some of the...
in the sky.
Well, I mean, it does kind of fit the post-apocalyptic dystopian
Starfall, baby.
Hey, everything's gone.
Yeah, but the stars are really bad. Like, it's still bright out.
Oh, I didn't...
Yeah, the skybox... the skybox is a wrap. Like, the skybox is the standard Unreal one. And basically, I need to get with my artist. So right now, he's working on the weather system. The rain, the thunder, the hail. He's getting all of those finished up going into like Tuesday, Wednesday. And then when he passes those off to me, I'm going to be working on that. And then also fixing up the skybox and adding in the night lights. So your buildings have ambient light.
Well, it could have been worse.
Yeah. I mean, if everyone turns off their lights right now, you literally can't see what's going on anymore.
I do kind of like.
Krieg was talking about that too. He liked how dark it got.
Are they generating?
I
kind of
experience, right? When you're not in urban centers, if you're not in urban centers, or even if you're in a few clicks away from like a population center, the light pollution goes
considerably
down immediately. But if you're not near a highway, like what you were saying last night, if you're in a forest, you're fucked. And the thing is, the reality is that is perfectly real. That is why we will prefer. That's why we have terminals in vehicles for thermal imaging, because thermal imaging is better. Like white phosphorus, it's better than having like infrared or night vision. Because I'm not gonna lie, you can barely see shit with those, even with like a really decent platform that costs you a few $1,000s.
Power without a generator?
So I highly prefer. Like from my perspective, at least, I don't know how the community will feel about that.
I'm kind of going towards your direction of trying to, because the thing is that we need to hit the horror vibes, and I think we made it a little too bright in Legacy. It's just too easy to like know what's going on. Like when you're in RTS, it is kind of overwhelming. So maybe we just put the night vision back in, sure. So that way you're in RTS, you can at least see to some degree what's going on, and you're not like at a huge disability. But for the operator, it does make a little bit more sense to kind of keep it more scary, more atmospheric, and then the RTS gets that night vision. So they at least have something going for them when they're building at nighttime, because that can be really intimidating. You can't even see what you're building sometimes. Oh, that's weird.
Have you ever played the original State?
Yes. Screenshot that.
Great game. If any of you remember how the lighting system changed, obviously, like
that was weird.
Really early days.
We're back. No, we're gone. Oh, we're back.
Someone's pausing the game.
Someone's pausing it.
Sorry about that.
Is it unpaused?
If you
No,
Wanna
we're
pause it?
paused.
There you go. When you pause it, the problem
Oh, there
is
we
it
go.
pauses
Sorry about
everyone,
that.
even the operators, so they can't move. We're gonna have to figure. That's gonna get. I don't know.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to figure out how to control an
Oh,
operator.
you're
Just
fine.
out of curiosity, who's the primary? Who's the engineer who designed Dev Zone A, like with all the lights and stuff? Because if you look at B, I'm over here struggling a little
Yeah.
bit.
No, this is the beauty of it.
That's me. I was getting
You,
shouted
Look
at.
at the
you get
Berlin
like
Wall.
the people that are like savants with the building system, where you can tell all they do in Cepheus is just build the
I
sexiest
typically,
bases.
I typically just whenever I play RTSs with my buddies, I typically get told, "Hey, just go attack the zones, and we'll handle the rest." Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I do. I just send in the cannon fodder, kind of like how apparently you use Michael's guys as meat.
Yeah, basically, but
shovels.
you can see the separation of duties here. Where you're gonna clearly have the builders, and you're gonna have the people that are the attackers, and then logistics people. And that's the cool part about this is like you figure whoever's building the left side needs to show
And
the
also-
right side some love because they're a little too good at building.
It's also annoying
I'll
me
head
how,
over there
how
shortly.
Yeah,
it looks
those
like it's on
lights
a
are
grid,
like-
but I know it's
Quick
freeform
question.
building.
For the RTS players, is there any chance y'all can gather around the medical
Oh,
tent for a quick
sure.
screenshot?
Where is that?
We
probably need
it's-
name tags to make
You know,
it
it's great.
easier.
It's right here. Okay, hang on. Is it Control R? Left
Yeah.
click?
I'm at the medical tent.
Hang on, I'll build a light pole right. I'm gonna build a light pole right next to it.
I just want a quick screenshot for a thumbnail.
And the guy with the
How do I
parachute.
take control of an operator?
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
see
it's
the guy
that
with
guy
the
right there,
parachute.
but I'm the only one that can see it. Do we only have 4 operators
okay,
active right now?
okay,
I don't
Yeah, I'm
know
correct.
how to take control of another
You have to.
one.
They're on the hill, on the radar and disc up there. Yeah, I
North,
just marked
north,
it.
north.
Yeah, you
Oh, I
select
see.
them, and then you type in possess first operator, and then you have one selected, and it will grab that one.
I can't see
Oh.
any of them.
Try dragging a selection
I'll
box.
come over
All
there
the-
and light it
all
up
the
for you.
All the operators.
Oh,
are used
Durbar, do you have one too?
No. I'm looking at them now. There's no.
Oh yeah, then
I think people are.
yeah, we need to really double time it.
I think some. Yeah, I think we need to double the amount.
Well, not
of
even that
operators
though.
we need
The way we have the operators right now are okay for dev environments, but we just need to fix the operators so people can customize their own, and they can call them in themselves. You know what I mean? At this point, like I'm just those need to be deleted off the hill because like ideally going into Tuesday, Wednesday, we got to fix the bugs. One of the bugs that you guys are experiencing right now is that we did too good of a building a base that somehow the infected are not spawning anymore.
This happened
Yeah,
last
so
time. There's no chance
after
to
like
actually
10 to
build
15
Clearly-
minutes,
clearly
the
they were
infected
in-
stop spawning on this map, and it's a bug I have to fix going into this week. It's on our priority list. Is that like something is failing and they stop spawning after a certain amount of waves. So I'm gonna go in and fix that going into this week because that's one of the major line items as well.
What do you mean? Clearly the
Yeah.
base building on B side was clearly
Yeah,
what
right.
scared them off. They
It
ran
intimidated
fear.
them with their
Clearly.
superiority.
Yeah.
They're intimidated by my disorganization so much so that the undead themselves would run
Yeah.
in fear.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
The
What do you
cowards
guys
do
think
not.
about the idea that when the operator walks within a barracks or a medical tent or an MO tent, you get that radius that appears, and then it shows you're getting supplies? Or would you guys prefer that it was just an icon above your head, like in Division or something?
I think
Maybe it
just
could be
on-
like a fade in, fade out.
Okay. The biggest thing was making it clear that when you entered the radius, you were anywhere within that circle, you're getting
You were getting
something.
supply.
And the idea is it's at a pace. So it's like every like couple of seconds, it gives you like another health, another more ammo. And it, yeah, I mean, the RTS players see it visualized when they click on it, but the operator players, it's a little bit overwhelming because it's so large and over, like there's a lot there when you look at it.
Man,
I would
this
say
is
for
so
an
much better than
operator, it
anything I
might-
ever built.
Like,
It might benefit
Just want one
from
of the
a similar
screenshots.
like effect as of Men of War or Call to Arms or even Armor actually in some of the very, very old builds of it where you would get a yellow flashing symbol of either your ammo count being
oh,
readjusted.
yeah, I get what you mean.
You
Yeah.
remember that?
Arrowhead?
Yeah, I think that would benefit operators.
That was Arrowhead, yeah.
Well, that's old school.
Arrowhead.
That's old school.
Arrowhead. Oh,
I have like
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
DayZ
have
level
yeah
right there.
DayZ. Oh my god, I
DayZ
bought
Epoch.
Arrowhead before DayZ came out, so I bought
really?
Arrowhead because I wanted a game to play, ironically like this, where you get like a AC-130 or like a huge plane of people, and then it would drop people off, and I'd play Invade the Nyx. Like the the original versions where you'd get a big group and you'd invade like a town, then you had to like kill all the hostiles or whatever. I'd play that all fucking day back in the day.
I picked it up just for
the
DayZ
DayZ
mod.
was more of like, oh, this is a thing. I should probably play this.
Yeah.
So how do you guys? You go.
Question.
Someone gonna ask the question.
I was definitely like bottom of the barrel, not a priority in any way. Would you ever consider opening up the troop tents?
The garrison tents?
To make them accessible? The garrison tent,
What
yeah.
capacity would you want to see that?
Just
done?
like the-
what purpose in gameplay?
Just
for visuals?
literally just because you can. Just run into it like you can with the medical tent and
Couldn't
the
it
ammo
cause
tent.
perhaps issues where where infected might not be able to get in, or they could get stuck?
Ah, that makes
That's
sense.
the only reason
Okay.
why I would leave it alone, because there's no
would-
gameplay service value for it. Yeah, sure.
How about
Just running around, it came to mind. So this is crazy what you guys have pulled off with this.
Think about it.
This is super
How
cool.
many people we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Think about 9 to 10, because there's about 4 operators running around, and then there's about 6 to 7 RTS players running.
I'm
There
just
is,
kind
I
of like
think,
watching at
someone
this point.
invisible here.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I see that too. It's a floating rifle.
So
looks almost like a floating
if you
invisible
disconnect
operator.
while you're as an operator, it doesn't delete your weapons, and it deletes the operator.
They became
So
a phantom.
that's on our bug
Okay.
list. We have to make it to where if you leave a game or you crash, it puts the AI back in, and then basically you can recover that operator. So, damn, whoever's building on the left side needs to calm down.
All right, I'm sorry. But, like,
So how do you? I'm assuming you're a builder. So how do you feel about this versus Legacy?
I really, like I said last night, I really enjoy the building in this. It feels a lot more quicker. Not in the fact, the interval of a building's progression is quicker. There might be some of that. I'm not really noticing it too much, because I would build very expansive very quickly with like a few engineers around a map. But obviously, this being a small map. But I would say, like you said though last night, that the collision or how close you could build to a location isn't really adjusted. You haven't got the shift option where you can flip the fences around. And there is another thing, however, this is like for the most part, as I've noticed with the San Francisco map, is that it's quite level throughout the city. There is a few areas of interest that I was like compiling in of one of the forums, for the images that we have access to, the forum-based part of the Discord. Where if you look at the northwest of the map, you can see that sort of similar thing where the fences aren't exactly level with the ground, based on its meshes and like height level. So with the height mapping of like Point Hill, for example, if you go to the back southern half of the map, at least that's how I look at it, from the point of where the aircraft carrier spawns to the east, beneath Point Hill at the end of the tarmac, there is an unlevel section of that airfield part where there's a beachhead where you can put your I don't know what you guys call them, but the amphibious landing craft.
The LHA-6.
That's one part. Yeah, that's one part I would say that I'd have issue with like the way that the walls come into place, but I know how difficult that is to get them to level out. Like, you see it in many games with like Fallout 4, for example, with its settlement building. Its walls don't level out.
That is always. That's why a lot of games
harshly.
like Rust do foundation pieces, because then and Fallout does it too. Because if you don't do foundation pieces, then at that point you apply. There's so much things that can go wrong. A, but B, it looks ugly. So it's like you figure it's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
like there's no perfect way, and there's no perfect way of a developer like finding, like even Rust does foundation pieces because they didn't want to deal with it. So if the foundation piece won't fit, you're screwed. I think that's something we're gonna have to experiment and figure out, because there's an example of what you're talking about over here, like right here, if you can see that mark, where essentially because it's generalizing and trying to normalize the points of the wall along an incline, it makes it to where it like offsets off of the ground, and in some cases that can make it to where the AI can slip into your bases. Like right here.
Yes, exactly. One of the ways I actually circumnavigated this, because I would do a lot of director cuts where I would solely base build. Like I would evacuate people once I'm satisfied with building. And the ways that I got around this was the HESCO barriers. So what I do is layer the walls with HESCO barriers on either side, as well as double and single barbed wire on either side, and then potentially on the offensive side, jersey barriers. And there is ways that you can kind of get them very, very close together, so they're very tight. Obviously, in this build that we have right now, it's not exactly possible. I don't know if that's with the wire mesh, like, the look of how certain structures look whilst we're building in the RTS perspective. Because obviously
Yeah, it's a dev map. So someone asked in general chat, where are they infected? It's because the Horde mode got broken. Like there's a bug where sometimes the infected stop spawning. So now it turns into like building simulator. I'm going to reset the map. Okay, guys? I'm resetting it now. Oh, and it crashed. Let me write that down.
And
Perfect. It was an update FOV.
had one thing in operator where after like opening the menu with escape and then going back, the UI element still stays.
Oh yeah, the escape, the options and all that, the escape key. We're going to be heavily retweaking that and redoing the entire option screen, the pause screen. We do know about that. You can join now. Server's back up. That is on our list. It's on my whiteboard. It's on my Trello. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to be like hitting it really goddamn hard to basically try and eradicate all these bugs. Okay, you guys are good. You can build. I'm just writing down notes and listening to you guys talk and whatnot. So I heard creaks. What do other people think in the room? What's your guys' take on it based off of what you're playing, your pros, your cons? What do you guys think?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just took over someone's operator.
Oops.
Bad.
That was my...
This is really cool, what you guys have managed to put together so far. This is...
So what do you like
insane.
most about it? Like what is like, I don't know, like hit me with it.
I'm one of those players. I really enjoy kind of more of the operator aspect as much as I like base building. So I find myself building a lot more of like the like smaller forward operating bases, and then kind of playing out of that, if that makes sense. But the fact that like just little things like the fact that your operator can now like walk inside the medical tent and the ammo tent, like little immersive details like that, that's what kind of jumps out at me. And
it's
like, that's really cool.
No, it's good. I'm logging these crashes as they go. So you figure I'm just saving them, and let me restart it. We're starting it again. Okay. I'm opening it up again. I apologize. Okay. And server's up. This is good though. I want it to crash. I want it to crash as much as possible today, because you guys are playing it differently than how I played it. So it's one of those things where I can just like see what you're doing, write down notes, get the logs. I have recording from Twitch, so I can perfectly like reproduce it in some cases now.
I do wonder, is the for operator melee working?
No, the infected melee. Sorry, not infected. The operator melee is not in. That's like the part of that last minute polish I was talking about 20, 30 minutes ago, where like I want to spend a day or two before phase 1 is officially done, getting those elements online so you can play the operator as like a fucking raider melee guy or whatever, and just not use your primary or secondary. It's up to you. Okay, because I want to make the operator like your preferred way of playing the game, even if the current classes don't facilitate it. Oh yeah, they're coming in on the south. I'm
Do
marking it
wonder
right
if this-
now. We have a big group coming down the south over there. And let me write down some notes.
Yeah,
there's
I
like-
got some.
It's like me and 2 NPCs.
Mhm.
It looks like.
I'm gonna write down some notes for what issue you're running into.
I'm gonna head out. See
Okay.
I do wonder if you can make the operator
Oh my
the like commander and have the rest follow. Say as one squad.
I know
You
there's
can you can rally point a barracks to an operator, and when they spawn in, they will follow that operator until they touch them, and then it will release them. Beyond that, one of the last things we need to polish for the operator is bringing in the old command orders, so you can use the arrow keys, like in Freedom Fighters or Ghost Recon, to tell them to follow you or to move with you. But with that system, they have to be in the same group as your operator. So the idea would be is that like if you put like an operator with like the same group as like 5 assaults, when you press those order keys, the 5 assaults will do whatever you tell them to do. God, that music is so obnoxious, that bug.
So in the long run, how do you envision the operators feeling when you play them? You imagine them being like, now they kind of feel like, I don't know, stiff is kind of the word I'd describe it as. Do you imagine it being more of a, I don't know, an Arma feel, or maybe like a original Killing Floor feel?
I am going
like
for more.
Half-Life
I'm
2
going for
kind of
more
vibe?
of like the Division. I'm going for Division
Okay.
in terms of basically every Resident Evil 4 Division. Resident Evil 4 in terms of like
yeah.
the precision. You shoot something, there's always a reaction. Unless it's a Juggernaut, they're not going to always play a stun animation or whatever.
Oh thank goodness. I have friends. I have so many friends now.
Oh
My
Jesus!
goodness.
Is there any way to make the assault like follow you, or there's
For
no
what do you mean I
commands
follow you?
I'll probably all the infantry.
Oh, there's no follow command right now. No.
Damn.
They were talking about a guard command, but that's more of a wish list right now because that would be the equivalent of what you're talking about, like in Age of Empires 2.
Yeah.
So camera acceleration.
How hard do you think it would be to replicate the formula that End War had for a specific point of interests?
What do you mean by that?
You know, where you, like, in the form of the guard command, right? Assuming it would be a wish list or a far venture.
Oh.
But with End War, you could set specific squadrons or groups, because you could utilize the group function that you have, to set them to a specific zone. Because now you've got this zoning system in the way that you formulate the power. Of course, you had it previously with the named areas, but you could have a central point of interest, maybe potentially where the strat points are, where we put up tents for extra income, that we could have those as predetermined. This is kind of what I was going on about when we had that text chat a while back, a couple of weeks ago, in regards to having predetermined patrol points, for example, in yellow zones, red zones, and predetermined firing options if a group has been set to that specific zone. I know that sounds
I
quite,
know.
like,
It took me a second to
potentially
understand what you're explaining.
strenuous,
Sorry.
but yeah.
That's not
No,
something
it's all
that
good.
we're not going to consider until Phase 3. We need to get to Stage 3, Phase 3, which is the pandemic, and then that's something that I can look into. Because what you're talking about is more so the interaction with civilians and the infection systems as a whole. Right now, the dev zones A and B are the precursor to zones, where it's like you would have, like in Legacy, you'd have like Frontier Piers, and you would have like Presidio Grounds or whatever. Those are going to be a regional power. That's going to be how you manage civilians and basically like Dev Zone A is going to have a civilian population assigned with it. Dev Zone B is going to have a civilian population assigned to it. And those civilians are on the street and in the buildings. So the idea is that like that's something
Yes.
that I can't even get ahead of right now until the point where we get the pandemic in Phase 3. So then that way I can figure out, does that work? Is it too complicated? I need to kind of play with that and see it myself. And that might be something that we just implement what we have right now. We fix the civilian evac to make it more noob friendly because it's so overly complicated, and we focus most of our efforts there in the pandemic and the infection systems. And that might be something we have to look into, like after everything is done, it's said and done, as like a quality of life icing on the cake kind of thing. Does that make sense? Because it's one of those things where it's not mission critical; it's more so just nice to have. Why is my camera doing that?
Oh, we've got a power issue down here on the east side of the base.
Oh, it's really dark.
I love the flashing lights. That's super cool.
On it.
Definitely getting. I had to write down some notes here. Do we have anyone in the base to turn on lights? There we go. Turn on some flashlights, and then the city light just came on.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, there's definitely the Horde issues I'm gonna have to work out because like that's really annoying. That with the crashes are gonna be the first thing I do on Monday. Is that the infection need to keep coming regardless. So I'm gonna try and hunt down and fix all the fatal crashes, and then I'm gonna go down the line of the infection spawning and making sure the waves keep coming no matter what. Is anyone?
Do we have?
Do you think it has to do with the point value of like how much assets we
What do you
have?
mean by that?
Like I remember you talking about that you the team reworked in regards to AI or like sort of reworking how AI zombies would penetrate your base. Like if they see a bunch of walls, would they circumnavigate it and so forth? Is that implemented right now? Could that be something that's affecting us?
It's more so all it's supposed to do is tell them to move to the wall, so they destroy the wall, and then if the path cost gets too high, then they circumvent it. But that's very rare that they'll do it because they typically find that it's faster just to destroy 2 or 3 wall segments and then reissue the move order. I think what's happening is that the Horde system, there's a bug or some kind of loop or some kind of cleanup that's not occurring, and they're basically running out of like it's not resetting properly because you'll notice that it works randomly for longer durations of times and other times it doesn't. So it's like something that's happening on the replication side of things that's making it to where like they stop counting correctly or it's getting bugged forever at the end of a Horde mode. So it should be very trivial to fix. I have to just log the stew out of it.
Do you have a question?
Yeah,
Will you
what do you think?
oh,
Sorry.
I'm building here. I do wonder if it finishes building, will it kick out or just get?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
I managed to get stuck.
What,
when the building.
oh yeah,
is
you will get stuck if you're on top of the building and you build it. It's gonna get you stuck. There's no stuck fix yet for that. That's something we have to do for like a little quality of life bug fix thing. Who's out there playing with the formation system right now?
We have like a circle blob of going.
Yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to rectify. Is that we have to somehow figure out the safest and cleanest way of making it to where if you build a structure and you have an operator on top of it or something, it doesn't like it'll get you stuck. I had to do it Fallout, a couple other games. I think they might just teleport you in those instances. And that might be the safest way, is we just teleport an engineer out of the way of the wall to course correct it.
The way I got them out originally in Legacy was to use the free helicopter that we got
and land it and then garrison them.
to land on top of
Yeah, I remember one time during flying when got Leviathan and then threw my heavy onto a building and had to use cavalry to get him out.
I dig it. I know that was a thing that I would do sometimes whenever there was a bug. You use a little bird to bridge them out. Let me write down some notes. Okay, that's cool. Got that wrote down. Yeah, the sound audio is really obnoxious. I gotta fix that. Are you guys getting looping audio where you hear the same music? Yeah. It's really annoying.
I've done since last
I
night.
muted. I have the game like super duper low. It's some kind of like weird replication thing. I might just go and fix it after we finish here before I go and chill and play games tonight. I gotta go play Path of Exiles 2, probably with Michael.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna go and see if I can hunt that down.
I just got a hard crash.
Can you send me that log?
Yep.
Did you put down by chance the like command structure there with the 10? Because I don't.
Yeah, I think that was it.
You got that. Yeah, that would likely. I think that's a dev item.
Which one?
You see on the I can't really.
Oh,
ping
the
it.
SOC.
The security command center.
Oh
yeah.
wow!
Yeah.
It's
the
not
new
supposed
SOC.
to let you place that down unless there's an actual SOC on the map. Okay, that's a bug. Okay, yeah. Send me that crash, please. And then I am going to write that down. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Oh, that was from 23 hours ago. That's a different crash. Where'd you put it? Oh yeah, that hologram is just forever placed there. That's really weird. The validate.
Oh, I was gonna build garrisons.
Let me just write down the Trello card. I'll probably be tagging in general chat throughout the week if anyone wants to help me test things. So if anyone's bored this week, send me a DM, and I'll probably be sending private builds around. Some of these bugs I need another person to test. So if you're bored this week, let me know. Let me write down that bug though. Socks can be placed outside of proper locations. And I'm going to take a picture of that. There we go. I documented that. Okay. Did we document the Horde spawners? Let me put that in there. Horde. Okay. I feel like you guys are just playing like building simulator right now.
That is exactly what I'm doing.
Over here on the.
I'm just afraid I'm going to build this on top of somebody.
I'm playing patrol.
How's the patrol system for you? Do you like the new system?
I'm not using them as patrol.
Oh, okay. I was curious if you were using the new patrol system.
Is that you near the Hescos right now?
Where are you? Flick your flashlight.
Which one?
Oh, I see you. He's here.
Yeah, you're over by the Hescos.
Like here?
Yeah, he's over here.
Like here. How do you do pinging as the
Control R and then left click, or Control T. Wherever you look is where it creates it. When you left click.
Wait, I don't see.
There's a weird desync that we're looking into right now, where sometimes the minimap icons don't replicate out to every client. So you might be getting that. Because I'm pressing it right now and it's not working. Let me document that.
Oh, so I have it spawning in the air, like in the sky.
Oh,
not
wow.
on the
Okay.
ground.
Command. Control plus key.
So it's like spawning
There
on
you
the
go, I can-
camera and not the mouse button.
Oh.
So someone else was trying to place
Oh, I
that
just
building
got
that just
crashed.
crashed me.
Yeah, I just tried to place one of the. That's my bad, I think. I tried to place one of the.
That's so cool.
Question: do you see like in the air, like the marking?
Yeah, that's a new
It'll be
bug,
really
most
nice.
likely. From,
Yeah,
yeah, I
get
see it right
ownership.
now.
Yeah, so I go higher. It pretty much falls.
Are you
on
in the
camera.
operator or are you in RTS?
I was in the operator, but then went into the.
Okay,
RTS
yeah,
one.
I see what you're talking about. I'm gonna write that down. Happens in RTS. I know exactly what's causing that. An operator, it shouldn't be doing that. And then it should only be making it to where it sometimes spawns, sometimes it doesn't spawn. And that's something we need to investigate. I wrote down both bugs regardless. And then that's a lot of units over there. Okay, so what else is there I need to note down? How many bugs do we have on our list now? And I need to chronologize those crashes too. What?
Huh. When I walk through this not quite built fence, there's like a delay before I walk through.
Yeah, I do notice that a lot with the holograms. That units will stagger.
Wait, can you say that one more time for the staggering aspect?
Not hard.
When I walk through the hologram, it stops me. Then I go. Through.
Are you
It's
an
like a
operator?
stagger.
Right,
Yes.
writing that down.
He
Do
is.
normal units do it?
Right here.
Like it does an RTS unit. Okay, good.
No.
Operators stagger when walking through a hologram structure.
At least my engineers don't.
Yeah.
So I'll pinch
Try one of your
assaults
assaults, the
and see if they
Cepheus.
have the same issue. I'll do it through the same spot because it might be a height issue as well. Because where he was going, it wasn't level terrain. If you want to test, you know where they're walking past that wall right now, behind you. There's 3 walls open. If you want to walk through that, yeah, you can see you have. Yeah, it's happening with the Hescos as well.
So it's only for operators though.
Right. No, it is also
Okay, so
assaults.
everyone does it.
It like buffers just before you go through, and it happens either side.
Got it.
But you do go through. It's like it's like a delay. You do actually catch up. It's more of like the model is running, and then you're already through.
Over here though.
Okay, I wrote that down.
So I think it's just
Yeah.
walls.
Is it just the
That-
walls, or
that
like normal structures don't do
SO2.
it? Like the ADS.
Hesco barriers do. Let me put down.
Who's running around in
That's
circles
good.
over
Yeah,
there?
I'll put
Is that an
medic
operator?
on.
Oh.
Yeah, that's me. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just
Right,
testing
do you see the
everything
medical
out.
tent?
Yeah.
Do you see the medical
Yeah.
tent that I put down? Try
I'm gonna
running
run
through
through it
that
right
before
now.
that guy builds it because he's trying. He's
Does
not
it do
listening
it?
to me. He's continuing to build. Yeah, it does.
Okay, so
Staggers,
everything's staggering. We'll look into that. I wrote that down, documented it.
Except for like this building, whatever it is. It's weird.
Try this because I'm pretty sure I'm going to put a garrison to your right side.
Right. Yeah, that's really so. Why not?
Same
this
thing. Yeah. That one is more.
That one's a
I
dev
don't think you'll be
object.
able to
It's
do
not
that because I
supposed
don't
to
think
be-
it doesn't have permission
Yeah.
to go through. Yeah.
That one's in a weird state of limbo.
I see.
That one shouldn't even exist on this map because there's no socks pre-placed here. That was on my list of things to do going into this week. Is I was going to add 2 socks or maybe 3, so we have to push out and defend them, and we would lose them as a constant supply of money on this map. So I was going to put like 1 in the center that was a low, and then 2 on the outskirts and like small outposts, so players would be encouraged to run out there and secure them.
If you do that for a horde map, could you have it where it doesn't actually have a zone that you can put power in, so it's strictly manpower being placed there?
Oh.
Because it would feel. It would
The
feel
problem
more
is
of
that
an
you can't build
incentive
turrets, so
to-
there's no incentivization to like you can't build a full outpost. What I was gonna do,
You can still build guard towers,
yeah, but why is it doing that?
and they don't use power, so it does make
I think there's
sense.
a frame rate jitter there. Okay, we'll look into that. I'll play around with that.
Or maybe even further out of the base
I
area,
do-
you could have
I
infection
have one
towers.
issue where I pretty much have the 2 engineers and I can't really deselect them.
You can't deselect them at all.
Yes. Like I can't.
Where are you?
I can't select any more units. Pretty much just stuck with the 2 engineers that have been working on the.
There's so many
side.
output logs being posted on that formation move that like it's bottoming out my frame rate. We're gonna have to turn those off in the package build. No, it's
Oh.
not your fault. It's our fault. We're doing like these weird debug objects and it's eating at my frame rate. So where are your engineers at?
On the left, there's like a small.
And you
outpost
can't
thing
deselect
in the
them.
building.
Okay, I selected them. Can you do it now?
Let me check if I can select any more units.
Whoa. What happened over here?
I can't really select anything,
Hmm.
and I am still stuck with them. Like I got still them selected.
Huh.
And you
Just like
tell them to
Yeah,
move.
Yes, I can move and I can control them, but I pretty much can't change from them.
I'm gonna write that down.
Well,
You might have to
I think-
reconnect to the server. I'm gonna write that down. Unit selections.
Have you like deselected the units? Those 2 engineers?
Yeah.
When you did that, it actually fixed.
Okay, that's bad. Writing that down. Yeah.
Hey, does anybody else see the suspended bodies with like all the frame blood around
Where
them?
is that located? You mean the little
Sure.
like red spears?
Yeah, they're diamonds and
We
like
need to remove
wireframe
those.
for me. Or the-
Diamond, spears.
Okay. Hold on. Let me turn on metal.
I'll just
You'll
take a
probably want
screenshot of it.
few of this.
Okay, so with the engineers, I got again the problem, but it started when I started trying to build walls.
Okay, writing that down.
Hmm.
The user thinks it was from building walls. What's the time code of this? It would be 2 hours. and
Although I do
37
not know
minutes.
why, because I was able to build walls before, and just now it's starting to.
It could be anything. I'm gonna, regardless. I'm saving the time code and then writing this down because we're gonna have to investigate this. Let me see. You guys want me to restart the session again, or what do you guys want to do for more infected?
Hold on. I'm trying to record something that happened. I'm trying to replicate it again.
Maybe I'm going to disconnect, reconnect,
not
and
happening.
see if I can try to recreate
it
the
is
same
happening.
bug with the two
Okay.
engineers.
I can't really record it. It's not letting me, so I'm gonna just stream it to you instead, so you can see
Okay, let's see.
what's going on.
So,
So when doing a long line of the Hesco berries, like if I move to using D, if I move the other way, the extension, it's like pushing.
Oh, I
the
know about
camera,
that.
and it'll keep
Yeah.
on doing so.
Yeah,
you
I
know
just
about
ran.
that? All right,
Okay,
sweet.
so what do you do exactly so I know your version of it?
So I'm just making a line of this, and it's shooting my camera. I'm not touching anything at the moment, and the key, my mouse is centered. And I don't even know where the camera is because I can't exactly see it on the mini map there. I think
Okay, I wrote that down.
I'm exactly over the hill. Yeah. Oh shit, and it's getting worse. I think it's
So-
something to do with you know, when you're doing a long line of a building, like
Yeah.
a wall or something, and the camera automatically moves with that point. I think if you put anything on that's something that's height related, or even like might have a suspected like further point of what your camera can see, like if it's, you know, height related. That it's
Does it
forcing
only
the
happen
camera
when
to
you're wall
catch up.
building? Can you get it to recreate if you're just moving the camera normally the same way?
Like if I'm using the camera normally, it does not happen. Everything's fluid.
Okay, write that down.
okay, so reconnected, and
Yes.
when, yeah, okay, maybe you finish.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so when in this area here we've been building, the walls, that pretty much the hologram of walls that had visible my side have disappeared, and I don't know if they were visible.
We know about
here
that
or
bug.
not.
Okay, so
Gotcha.
what that means is whoever was still currently in the session before you left has to complete the walls. It's like a weird desync that happens where basically like the Hesco's like, I don't know, it's not saving for some reason. We know about that bug. We have to fix that.
No, I see.
You might be screwed on those walls then. I'm getting another random bug where my camera
Yeah.
jumps.
Could someone maybe finish at least the wall on the side?
Well, I'm
Just
gonna
to
reset the
just
session
let
real
me try
fast so we can actually get some enemies.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
gonna reset it one last time, and then I have to go document everything and index all of the bugs we ran into, and then I'm gonna go get with my devs and probably write down some more notes. Okay, I got one more crash. Let me do that. Start. Oh, it
Wait,
crashed
it
for me,
crashed?
not you guys. Okay, so now I'm
Oh.
gonna restart the session one more time.
The last thing I have been trying
up?
to do was trying to build
Oh,
the
you're good.
walls, pretty much with those engineers.
Let me just document that. Okay, I documented all that. You guys are good to join. We'll do this last session. You guys can build, play some infected stuff, see how you like it, and then I'll hear you guys is whatever you guys want to add in before I leave. Then I'm gonna use this as like a little dev video for us to go back and fix bugs as well. This video is invaluable for us.
All right, I'm gonna take an operator this time. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
build. as
give it a
well.
fair shake. See, try other stuff you haven't tried normally, and just see how you feel about everything.
Do you want us to submit all of them
You
to
don't
you
have
guys?
to.
Or...
I have my own video. Like it's more so it's invaluable for
Okay,
me
gotcha.
because I'm recording right now on Twitch. Sorry, YouTube. So we can go back and we can look at it and see like, oh, this is happening. And I'm writing down time codes on our task management software so we can refer back to the time codes. They're attacking on the right flank.
Contact east.
So I'm gonna take over operator, then get out of it and try to work as on the RTS side and see if
Okay.
anything breaks.
So what's up with the hammers floating above the zombies?
Oh, they have melee weapons.
Some of the zombies were holding.
Yeah,
Hold
they
up,
have melee
what?
weapons. It increases their damage per hit.
What did we do to
Uh,
It'd be,
It's okay. They want to hug you, bro.
it'd be really
Alright,
nice to
alright.
see, like the dying
We have the money.
light larger zombies, like the mutants who are semi-bit larger
Yeah.
with sledgehammers, just being part of the standard groups. That'd be nice.
Oh no, I hear you.
Can we get some budget?
Yeah, RTSers, east side, could we get some ammo tents?
Is your guys' camera jittering or jumping around in RTS at all?
Small bit. It does when things are dropping in.
I noticed when I was doing the RTS, if any building that has height to it, that's when the camera would jump in the air. But it's the same as Legacy. It's just with the camera.
That's
pointing on the
entirely
floor
new
where
too.
It's facing.
I think I.
Can we get some
Oh
funds?
yeah, sorry. I'm writing down notes. Apologize. There we go.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, man. You do.
Yeah, you guys need
some
money.
US
No, I get you. I get you.
military budget.
Oh, they're
What
coming in.
side?
They're coming in.
Oh, right side.
Same side. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, shipping containers, Charlie.
They're coming in on the
just
top
stopped
left
coming
and top
after
right as well.
Shit.
Roger, rotate.
I need help to get the engine
Hold on.
out.
We need more assaults. Oh, we need pop.
Oh,
Did someone?
turret.
Oh,
Michael
someone.
loved it.
Ah,
someone's
assaults are
building-
coming.
Oh
Force
yeah,
wave
59
deployed.
units are being trained. I see. They're being trained elsewhere. Okay.
Good lord.
Let me grab some of the assaults and send them down to the bottom left.
Okay, building
think
the
they're right
inside.
pretty
base.
Northwest of Bravo would be nice as well because they can glitch behind the building. Actually, speaking of,
Yeah, I think that turret has the right locked down.
Is someone shooting a pistol somewhere?
I domed
Oh, was that
by a
you?
spitter
Can we get a medical tent down?
in one.
Oh yeah,
hit,
the spitters. We need to increase the
Cool.
damage resistance
Yeah, I'm ready.
of that because it's just obscene how quickly the spitters are like goddamn housers. Like I was saying earlier, they'll just snipe you. There's still one operator left on the hill that someone can possess. Ooh, this week's gonna be busy. Oh, I can feel it now. I'm gonna get a lot of
All right.
coffee. I'm gonna get some energy drinks and just pound at this all week. So this week is gonna be fucking fun. Hey,
Sorry,
Craig,
I
do you
think
work
I
a lot
took
during the
care of
week?
most-
I do, however,
you're in
I have
Europe?
the luxury of saying no.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So perfect. I
I'm
stay up
on
late night.
all-time
I stay up
format.
really late. If you're bored some nights, I'm gonna message you and see if you're free to help me test like small little isolated elements of what we're running into tonight. You cool with that?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I'm
If anyone
completely
else
down.
here is interested, let me know. DM me or whatever, and let me know if you want to help out. Because I do. The problem is, as you guys have seen, what I show in the editor sometimes will break differently in this cook build, like the auto repairing. So if there's anyone here that just wants to sit in and just help me every couple of days, I'll send you a private build. We just jump in a channel. Anyone else wants to join us at the time, great. And we'll just have like focused tests where it's like, oh, is the auto repairing working? Great. And then I go and fuck off somewhere for a couple hours and go fix something else. So, yeah, because right now it's just going to be just bang, 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 just looking at everything that's going wrong and just fixing them as small elements until everything's perfect.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right. I'm still surprised just how well everything's working right now. I don't know why, but I expected it to just be a little bit more buggy. We can actually play something. It's just, yeah.
I do wonder if anyone can run onto the helipod.
I don't think you can.
There's no collision.
The operator might be able to. Let's turn on some. Where is the helipad?
Here.
Oh, someone can one of the operators try walking on the helipad and see if it works?
I'm already on it. It's my dream. It's what I've always
Wait, where
wanted
are
to
you?
do. Get crushed
Oh
by a
yeah, it
helicopter.
works.
I'm on the hellhead. All right, now somebody
Oh
land
yeah,
a
there's no
helicopter.
helicopters yet. You know, that's gonna be at least a couple. That's gonna be at least a couple more weeks.
There's no
Yeah, right.
extraction.
That's gonna be
That's
real
fair enough.
interesting when we add in the actual civilian evacuation mechanics,
Oh, look,
and you actually can have people.
look at all
Because
the...
think about it, right? With the buses and everything else, you could have players that their job is just to ferry along the buses and keep them protected.
Yeah.
Because the buses are going to be automated, so you just have a Humvee with a team of people, and they're just running around, just doing security for the bus.
Oh, I can't get on the bus?
I mean,
damn.
we haven't thought about that right now. Right now, we're focusing on just getting the like the base vehicles, but that could be something in the future. For right now, we'll leave that alone. Because we had an idea for the buses where we wanted to put like a guard detour on them, so you could build like an assault on them.
So,
and
like-
every time the bus would stop, the assault would get out and just guard the area, kind of like the guard tower. So the idea is it kind of gave you like a little like non-controlled AI that would at least try and keep them alive. What were you gonna say? I interrupted you.
No, I was interrupting you. So you're just describing a battle bus, basically. You're going to let us build
it's
a battle
basically
bus.
in Legacy, it's just the bus, but you can. The idea would be is you can put someone to guard it. Does that make sense? Yeah, like
Gotcha.
right now, I don't think we'll be able to go that deep into the weeds, but we have plenty of time to figure out these systems. Like right now, my goal is just getting it to where this is bugless, it works, finish up stage 1, and then we'll cut pieces as we go, basically. Can I grab these? Is someone? Who is that? Oh, that's a player over there. Yeah, we built so many. I think I gave you guys too much money. I'm definitely gonna have to spend a couple of hours going into this week, adding in the socks, making it to where infected kills give money because they don't right now, and then doing it to where I don't have to give cheat money. Because whenever I give the cheat money, it makes the game too easy. We have to have some difficulty for these little map tests. So I'll get with Michael. Let me write down some notes because he's going to have to go in and actually have to do the balancing for the weapons. Let's see.
Extra streaming pool error.
Texture streaming pool error?
Maybe.
Yeah, I just
How much VRAM do you have on your computer? Or your...
I have no
Oh,
idea.
okay, yeah, because if I had to guess, your video card is over its paging pool for the amount of texture memory it can allocate. That's a us problem. This map is not optimized. There's no H-slots or anything in it.
Oh, I mean, it only popped up for like half a second and then it stopped.
It's because there are objects being streamed in and out dynamically, and every once in a while, it goes over that 1024 megabyte limit. Because right now, I think the SDK is limited to only use 1024 megabytes of VRAM. Yeah, well, I know exactly what that is.
I just noticed it popped up and I was like, oh.
No,
I
it's
better say
fine. I
that.
appreciate it because it lets me know to tell my tactical artists. And that also lets me know I need to have him pre-bake the H-slots on this map just to make it to where it's saving a little bit more of your VRAM and your CPU time.
Oh, I mean, this has been running like smooth for me the entire time.
How much the frame rate you guys are getting? Just curious.
I don't know how to check that.
53,
34.
Yeah, 50 to 60. It's holding steady.
I have
70?
changed
Yeah,
my
same
settings to
here.
the low.
And we're at 80 pops with a pretty decent sized base. That's going to have to double or triple. We do have some optimization that we need to do at the end of phase 1 with the confines of like, yeah, so that'll be fun. Because we're going to have to tune up a couple of things, make it a little bit cheaper. Because right now, everyone here should be getting 120, no question. So we're going to have to write that down. We're going to need to do a optimization pass at the end again.
I would say is an added thing for this Horde map, for example, when you were talking about the socks, is with the garrisons, potentially also have the cash requirement, but for you to access the garrisons or perhaps certain buildings or defensive structures, that you have to kill a certain amount of infected before getting it, rather than just being able to place it down
Which
straight
structure
away
is this, sorry?
as a prerequisite. It could be a myriad of structures between the garrisons to allow you to have more units, to
Oh,
cover more ground, to having tier 2 or tier 3 walls. Or,
let me think about that
you know,
one, because
double
okay, so this is
barbed
my idea. We had a
or
poll
unit.
about this on Discord probably about a month ago. Is that for the sake of population, I want to make it to where the host or the server has an authoritative like battalion or like division pool, and the idea is that let's say you guys have units right now that you want to retire, you can put them into that, and they get picked up. And then you can use that free pop now. So if the demands of the game change over every 5 to 10 to 20 minutes, the game isn't punishing you by you having to constantly delete units to get that spec off, to get that sniper, to get that tank.
That'd be great, yeah. Because we could call in them effectively for, you know, a bridge defense, for example, if we've lost our frontal assault.
Yes.
With units that we've already purchased, that would be a very nice quality.
Yeah, because right now with the population, it just doesn't work for the longevity of gameplay. Because again, what you need right now is not necessarily what you're going to need in 10, 20 minutes from now. You might need a bunch of engineers right now, and then you're like, I don't want to waste the money. Let's make an engineer group, put all our extra engineers in there, and instead of building new engineers, you just pull them up from the reserve at a discounted price.
We got more horrors.
Oh, they fixed. The infected are coming in on the north and the south, and the east.
Yeah, the east. Yeah, they're coming from
I
everywhere.
have been starting building just light posts on the road.
A light post? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so the thing about the lights is that if you build them outside of the box, they don't get power. So that's something else I'm going to be doing going into this week. Is I'm going to line the entire Horde map in additional dev zones or zones, so then that way you can provide power and be able to like have like layered defenses per se.
Lads, I tried to rebuild infrastructure when I brought the
Oh
Horde
yeah,
in.
no, you're good. Do we have have gates? Oh, we don't have walls actually. We must
just,
have
like,
lost
cut
our
piece and we just
lost our master builder.
We don't need
Oh,
walls.
yeah?
I've not been built.
Oh no, you're
I
fine. You're playing as the
apologize.
operator, or what are you
I'm
doing?
retired. I was playing as the operator, but now I'm just.
Who was the
observing
person that was
what
saying the
everyone else is
operator
doing.
felt
So,
rigid?
Interesting.
Can
Oh,
you
that was me.
explain how it felt rigid, so I know that based off of going into this week?
Let me message you. I'll think on it tonight to try to figure out how to like word that to you.
You're not gonna hurt my
Like,
feelings.
It doesn't feel bad. It just
Okay.
You're gonna feel the tears in the
It's
corner. of your
okay. I
pillow
don't give a
tonight.
fuck. You can be honest. I mean, does it feel sluggish?
No,
Like,
for
that
sure.
kind of stuff.
It feels like
Okay.
stiff. Is
Okay.
how I describe it.
I kind of agree. Yeah, it is a little
Like
stiff.
you know when you have to go to a wedding and get into like a suit and you just really don't
Sure.
fit in it and you're just walking around like, yeah, that's kind of what the vibe it gives off.
I wonder what gives that impression.
I don't know.
Yeah, it does feel very fluid at times, but I definitely get what you're
When do you
saying.
feel like it's
it
most
feels like
fluid?
your movement is kind of limited. Oh, definitely. when
Aiming
you're
and shooting. Is it
besides
the movement
recoil.
when you're?
The recoil is incredibly high, but like the swaying, for example. I don't know if that's homebrew or something you guys have
The
put
swaying.
in, but the swaying is pretty on point because it does feel heavy enough that you're actually aiming a firearm, especially for the long rifle.
Oh,
The
that was
pistols are
Michael. He really
quick
wanted
enough,
to put that in there for like having the animation sway when you're moving left and right. If you guys can verbalize what you're
it
feeling,
was great.
then I'll look at that, put it on a task sheet, and when we polish the operator towards the end of stage 1, we'll incorporate that feedback. That's another reason why I want you guys, the people playing the operator right now, because again, I also need to go back and play Resident Evil 4 and some Division, and kind of, check notes basically, because I need to see just basically what else are we missing in their robustness of like their tool set. Because I think part of it is like the vaulting.
Which
What
one?
do you think?
Which one was the Raccoon Police
Resident Evil
Department?
2
Was
remake.
that 4?
Yeah.
The remake? Yeah, the remake for Resident Evil 2. The movement on that is
I
incredible.
was pulling it more from Resident Evil 4 remake.
I see.
It's
I haven't
fucking
had
amazing.
the
I love that game.
opportunity to
Oh
play
god.
that yet, but I've been dying to, because I go to Comic Cons and conventions dressed as Hunk, because I have a lot of the gear, because most of it is like standard. For
Yeah,
my
who's the guy
workplace.
having a hard time placing a guard tower?
So
Can you do that again? Leave it like that, and I'm gonna take a picture and send that to my level designer. Okay, leave it like there for a second, please. And picture.
All right.
And thank you. Okay, now you can do it wherever you want to do. I'm sending that off to someone that worked on that level because that's a collision issue in the level.
Huh. I love how much shorter than everybody else I am. Ooh.
Okay, sorry, I was writing notes down. Okay.
I think I'm gonna need to disconnect and reconnect because I can't place anything now.
What caused that, if you were to guess?
Uh-oh.
What was there lead up to that?
I don't know. It started essentially after I tried placing the guard tower over here in this area.
Where are you placed? Where is that? Oh, it was the one that was red.
Yeah, over here.
Okay. All right, I got that. I noted that down. I'm going to take down the time code. Time code was... Oh, I crashed. It was 2 hours, 59 minutes.
Yeah, I literally just tried to put some walls down. As soon as I did that,
Oh, yeah, no, you're
crash,
good.
so-
I'm logging that. It was a vision grid update. Okay, let me just log that in there. I gotta log these crashes in. Okay, so I'm gonna conclude there. You guys are welcome to keep playing amongst yourselves. Anyone here can host. Whoever has the best geographical internet amongst all of you, all you do, I'll just give you the command if you guys want to keep playing and play around with it. Is let me open up the game and I'll give you the console command. So you just have to go and get your Steam ID because there's no backend. So here, I'm going to take a screenshot and drop it in the channel. And then the next couple hours, I'll shut off the thing. But in in general comms, there's a screenshot of all the console commands. And then the one with listen is how you start a server on a map. So you just type that in and whoever's going to host. And then you go to your Steam profile. I'll show you. And you go to... Where is it?
if you
You go to account
profile,
details,
post
and then it will say on the top left Steam ID, and that's the number that you replace over the one that I gave you, and that way you guys can play the game at your own pace and just have fun. So you click on your profile, you go to your account page, and on the top left you'll have Steam ID. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna go run away.
No, sir. Thank you for hosting.
Oh no.
Thanks for hosting this.
No worries.
It's a
We're gonna
blast
do it
hanging
again
out.
next
Nice and-
Saturday, and I think this will be a reoccurring thing. We'll spend a couple hours playing with you guys and just showing what we've done over the week, and actually be able to like get you guys a build every Saturday, regardless hell or high water. We're still gonna be pushing out a build every Saturday. If it's a little bit less, like it'll be like just not during the week is the only thing. Anyhow, you guys have a great night. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks to people that are watching on Twitch and on Steam.